Yo, what's going on, everybody? Xanthus Vice here, and we are back with some more Punishing Grey Raven. I hope you guys are having a great day so far. While we last left off, we had finally finished the Crip School chapter, and it was really good. Like, honestly, definitely a really good chapter, and it definitely lived up to like the magnitude of how the chapters after Ishmael's was, because that definitely set the tone for like a lot of new possibilities, but this last one as well. Or no, it wasn't Crep School, it was the other one, Dreams You Round. But it still did a great job of emphasizing a lot of points as to what exactly was different from the time period before and after the reset, to actually see how it actually did affect the real world now in regards to the main confrontation between Vonnegut and the Commandant. Because it really did help understand more that it's like, now Vonnegut's completely out of control and anything from here on is unpredictable. Yo, what's up, Guardian? How you doing? So, now that we're all caught up in the main story, and it has almost been a full year since I've been playing this, I'm gonna try to see, we're gonna go through the interludes again, because I want to finish up Wanshi's, so that I can unlock the last goodbye, or the long goodbye, whatever the name of that floating record was, and see if we can at least finish that by the time we reach a year of me playing the game. I know there's still technically other stuff like this, like Journal of Promise, Arcade Anima, and event records and stuff like that, but for me it's mainly been like the main story and even the floating records too, because I honestly thought nothing of the floating records, but once I started going into it, it's like, bro, it's just so fucking interesting. Actually seeing all these other loose ends and developments of characters that don't really have in the main story, and I like how it's kind of optional here, because again, it does tie into the main story, but it doesn't really have too much of like an impact on what's going on in the main story, so you don't lose too much, but it's like some information you wouldn't know unless having been referenced from here. Yeah, you need to do some interludes to open it. Yeah, I know. That's why it's like I'm fine with it, you know? So we're gonna finish it because I only have one part left, and I know I could just go immediately to Long Goodbye after, but I feel like since I'm already doing an interlude today, I might as well just make it focused all around that. So I'll do a couple more interludes like we did the other time, and just try to get to know a bit more about some of the other characters before we move on to this. Because I'm hoping to at least be able to go through the Long Goodbye and at least be finished with this floating record by the 5th of October. I just started a current account I have 30 plus. Ah, okay. Damn. So yeah. Don't worry, I will still stream Woven Prologue and Ideal Cage after that. Don't worry, I will. It's just that it's not like my biggest priority right now, you know? Because this one I'm really interested about Wanshi's thing. So yeah, let's go ahead and go to the interludes real quick. Let me go ahead and finish Wanshi's first before I try some other ones. Let's see, I'm trying to figure out what other interludes do I want to do today. I mean, one of them that I definitely want to do is Selena, because I'm hoping it'll tell me what exactly she had been doing up to the point of Renaissance to Fantastique the first time around, you know? Because we knew that she came out of that corrupted that was formed using her body as like the main vessel from Gabriel's experiments, but we don't know anything about her after that, so that's one of the main things I'm going to go through. I'm probably at least going to go to, let's see, who else? I kind of want to go through Bianca Veritas' frame, just because with Zero I can kind of draw a quick understanding based on everything we've heard in the main story, because otherwise it'll feel like a repeat to me. So I feel like at least this one I'll do. Do you do the new Vera patch yet? Wait, which one? What do you mean? But yeah, I don't know what new Vera patch. You don't mean the floating record, right? Because I already did that one. I'm trying to see what you're talking about. I'm assuming you mean like maybe the journal. New Vera story, you read it? Not Pilgrim's Remain, right? You mean her floating record, correct? Because I did do that one. Let me see. Yeah, I did Spark to Wildfire. It was a pretty good one. I did like that a lot. Because it's like, it always felt like she had the connection to the Commandant in some way. But I was like, where did it really stem from? So actually seeing this, like a bit of retelling of the past while focusing on the present, was a nice balance that they had there. So yeah, let's go ahead and finish the Wanchi Hypnos thing. Reading Garnet's interlude makes the one have more content. Oh, okay. Maybe I'll do that one. I don't know. Like I said, I'm just gonna do some of them today. Okay, from what I remember for this one, Wanchi was kind of trying to like understand what it means to like be a doctor in this case, because the thing is like when it comes to having your information set back, you're not really coming back to life. It's just recreating another copy of you that feels like the real you, but it's not exactly that same individual, right? And Wanchi was against it from the head doctor, but he was told that it's like sometimes you have to, you know, because it's like what would be worse, them believing this little white lie, or recalling? Yes, recalling. Thank you. That function, or them learning the truth? Because when they learned the truth, we saw that it did have negative impact because that's what would lead people to becoming traitors. And to be fair, it is understandable from both sides why Wanchi would want to do it, and why people would turn traitor and abandon Babylonia. You have to do it, it'll make them feel. Yeah, it's like, that's the thing. I really like how this whole white light works here in this circumstance, because usually when you think of it, when you hear from the bad guys, you're like, no, it doesn't. They need the closure, they need the salvation, they need to understand the weight of it. But it's like, it doesn't always have to be a bad guy who starts off the white lies. Sometimes you have to actually do that because you don't know how the other person will take that lie. People's feelings are unpredictable that way. And I like how we're doing that with Wanchi, because he really does want to do what's right. That's in his nature. But again, at the same time, you can't say for sure what's best for someone. That's not a guaranteed for every single person. No one person's the same. The fact that they're still doing the recalling myth is nuts. Huge repercussions, stuff like that. No, yeah, that's true. It's like, that's the thing. It's like, it does carry weight. Like, it has its benefits, but it has its consequences. And like you said, it definitely hits more on the long term in this story than the short term. But that's why I like, you know, this is a serious kind of concept that most of the time you wouldn't care about anyway, because most of the time this happens from the bad guy's perspective. And it's like, or they're the ones talking about like white lies are better for people, but it's like you usually don't agree to that. But in some cases, it's like it actually is better for that. Because that was one of the reasons why Kokichi, I think, in Danganronpa V3 was such an interesting character. Because when he told lies, you couldn't really guarantee whether it was like a lie just to mess with people, or a lie to trick people, or just want to like soften the blow of what reality really hits home to you if you were to take the truth head on. So I thought it was a very interesting concept. We'll see how Wanchi kind of tries to resolve himself in this situation. Yeah, because next he meets Kamui, who actually knows the truth about, or he can at least deduce the truth of what recalling actually does. But he's like, it doesn't really matter to him. Because what's more important to him is the fight. Bianca Zero's interlude ties into Watanabe's interlude. Yeah, but that's why I want to save the Bianca Zero one for later, because right now I'm just trying to focus on the ones that it's like we had currently talked about, you know? Like, that's why Bianca Veritas, I'd like to know a bit more of like her transition from that to the Krebs School frame, even though it's not directly connected to it. Selena's, because we already did her first one. We already went through her main chapter thing with the time prison. And like you said, Vera I could do, because then it ties into the her floating record that we already finished. But like I said, we'll see if we have time for an extra one, and I'll think about what I might do. Next round of Corrupted Attack is coming. Got it. Haven't read the new patch yet because I want to read the story in order. I'm in Skyre's chapter right now. Oh, okay. That was a pretty peak chapter too. I liked Skyre. It was a good one. Oh, okay, so I see. So that's what you've been doing recently. I getcha. But yeah, I still did like Skyre one. Because if I remember, Skyer is before Stigmata, correct? Now her and Bianca work together in the dark. Oh yeah, true. That's crazy how it works like that now, isn't it? I still find it crazy how not only is Veronica gonna be a physical character, but she's also gonna be like a amplifier. Like physical is one thing, but amplifier? That's still wild to me. Wait, it is amplifier, right? Or I mean physical, correct? Like supposed to be in place of like a Elisa Echo, I think. Tell all the injured constructs to go hide in the shelter near the CPF. Veronica's looking interesting. Yeah, don't get me wrong, it does. I also saw like the little sneak preview that they posted on their YouTube channel a bit. And it's like, I have no idea what's going on from that. Sync with all squads to push the front line further to guarantee safety around the filter. Alright, got it. Doctor, please take care of the wounded for us. I will. And I'll see you later, Wanchi. Remember what I said? Don't forget the things that are more important now. It is nice that they gave Echo a final SFX skin for free right before she goes into semi-retirement. Yeah, that is true, because that's the thing. Elisa Echo won't be like completely out of commission, and you can't really say she'll be power crept necessarily, because Elisa Echo will still have her uses. And to be fair, at least you could upgrade her skills recently from the patch before that, or was it 2 patches ago? So it's like, it's not like she's like completely out of the picture yet. It probably just depends on like the kind of enemies you'll be facing with like endgame content that you'll switch back to her, which is better for optimization purposes, you know? In truth, the free skin, it's like, at least you have something for it, you know? A little bit to play around. After reinforcing the shelter for the wounded, the main troops set off in the front line while Wanchi treats the wounded constructs inside. Hold this end for me. It's one end of the connecting wire into the hands of a construct in front of him and plugs the other into his terminal. His finger quickly taps on it, and a weak current is transmitted along the wire to the construct. Thanks. She's still worth it for new players because she's free. Everyone's gonna want to pull Amp as their first 6-star. No, yeah, exactly. And that's the thing, it's like, there are a lot of characters I think that's like, you wouldn't necessarily pull for your first 6-star necessarily. So it is good to at least have the option, because again, it's like, at least then you can measure up to more difficult stuff, because again, this game is pretty easy to grind for and reach high levels, and that's like, you really want to have as much fun as you can with the end game stuff. It's like, you just do a decent amount of grinding, and you can have fun with a lot of the characters that they offer to you from that. In other words, your hard work does actually pay off. And it's not too much in the long term, where it's like years to come, you know? It's fine. So once he gets up and is about to walk to the next wounded, a sudden noise comes from outside the shelter. Is the battle over? No, that's not right. Huh? Careful, it's the corrupted that crossed the front line with a special camouflage. Thompson says it as he walks over the wall, checking the situation outside through a gap between panels. No, there's no way we can have corrupted this caliber in our current state. Wanchi, just get away through the back door. These reconstructs can recall. There will be quite a while before I can see my child. Wanchi, you've got the courage to expose the lies. I'm afraid it's not the right answer. Yeah, that's the thing with this professor. It's like, he wasn't purely evil or anything either. It's like, it's hard to say what's completely right and what's completely wrong. A lot of people came for Dante and Virgil in their DPS. Oh, true. So being able to get like tanks or amplifiers or healing supports for free through grinding is like, that really does help. Especially for those new players. Lies and truths make no difference to constructs like us. Yeah, we knew what the ending would be after seeing the truth beneath the lies. To die for humans is the inevitable end for constructs. The only difference is when and where you die. This is the reality. This is the reality. The next time you can't hold on, just activate the recall, alright? Get rid of the wounded frame and let your mind return to Babylonia. Like returning to the state before your birth. protected and warm. Good. The truth may be the right thing to say, but it's hard to do the right thing in the apocalypse. Yeah, because, again, that's the thing. It's like, the situation can call for special circumstances. And sometimes you will have to make a difficult choice. You wouldn't think these kinds of choices would actually exist, but they do. But it's just that you would never know because you're not in there. Like, for people who have to deal with starvation or poverty or stuff, you can hear about all the facts, but you won't know of the real pain, the real struggle, the sacrifices they've had to make to survive. You won't know any of that just by reading or hearing rumors. Only by experience will you actually be able to understand where some of these people come from. I'm not saying all the time it's right morally, but when it's the desperation for survival, anything goes in those cases. And yeah, like you said, in the apocalypse, it's hard to always say that you're doing the right thing or that doing the right thing is always the answer. Not saying that you can't attempt to, but it's just that much harder to do it. Win the war and survive. It's not right morally, but it's a placebo that makes constructs feel okay. Yeah. Don't you think you're a lot like him in some ways? You aren't willing to talk to others when you're upset. So instead of worrying or regretting it, I choose to do what I'm capable of first. The important thing is to avoid standing still. Be yourself and do what you want. Do what you want and can do. Victory and the future are too far away from me. What am I doing for right now? Checking the injuries of the constructs, I subconsciously want to treat them and ease their pain. I'm doing this so I shall see no more suffering and separation. I'm doing this for those around me, those I want to protect. Seeing what unfolded here made me feel like I've got to do something. That's why I started to learn about constructs maintenance. These thoughts are engraved in my heart are getting forgotten while I was obsessing over the rights and wrongs of their lives. No. Huh? Wanchi, what is it? I'm not like you recall. I thought I exposed the lies to help others in the past. Instead, I created more suffering. Since then, my life has been filled with regrets, helplessness, compromises, and torture. Because I accepted the reality that such a lie needs to exist. What happened here has made me realize that constructs should never be kept in the dark and sacrificed in vain. If I don't reveal the truth to you here, how could I face Kamui and the others on the front line? Or Thompson's child waiting in Babylonia? I'm not telling the truth to help, but to protect. Well, you finally want to talk, huh? There's no such thing as recall. It's all just a lie to comfort the constructs. What? The threat of life and death is the same for all of us. If I let you fight recklessly with no regard for your safety just because you're counting on recalling, that's no different than from letting you commit. So right now, instead of running away, I'm going to fight with you. So none of you need to be recalled. Doctors should not only save people, fight alongside them as well, and protect others. We'll make it. Together. Worked up, Wanchi seems a little exhausted and can't stop trembling. Thompson slowly walks over him and gently strokes his hand. That's courageous of you. That's right. Thanks for telling us the truth, Wanchi. Must be hard for you to carry such a burden till now. Thanks for that. No, that's because I've been a coward. You're not a coward. To move forward in the painful darkness after seeing the truth is not what a coward would do. Instead, you're stronger than anyone else. Can't believe we'd ever want to recall. It's no different than leaving our partners in the fate of the city behind. Yeah, we promised each other to win. Wanchi, like you said, let's make it together. Guys, the flag will protect and guide their partners. Must not fall or retreat. Guys, let's go. Thompson shouts out commands as he speaks. so the Kazakhs to move, take out their weapons. Just as Wanchi's about to walk through the back door, Thompson throws a sniper rifle into his hand. Take it. Those monsters outside see how indestructible a fully armed flag is. Meanwhile, Thompson loads the other sniper rifle in his hand. Wanchi mimics his actions and turns the weapon's safety off. Copy. Don't push yourself too far. Hide behind the support constructs whenever you spot danger. Yeah. Before anyone can make a move, the corruptor roars and turns toward the constructs on the way, much toward Wanchi at the back. Once you're getting closer, Wanchi keeps pulling the trigger. The explosive shells hit the opponent's legs accurately, but fail to stop the corruptor from moving. The joint in its left leg. Though Wanchi's failed to stop the corruptor from moving, he's managed to damage its frame, focusing on the busted joint on the left leg and quickly rolls to the left, dodging his charge. Though he's not directly hit, the rebel splashed around by the corrupted and crashes into the building and hits him hard, knocking him on the ground. Corrupted slowly makes its way out of debris and turns to look at the human, and constructs fall to the ground. Walks toward the nearby Wanchi, ready to give all its targets a final blow. Woman's arms are raised high, several explosive shells hit the corrupted, blowing half of its torso out of sight. Wanchi looks back and realizes that Thompson and several constructs have helped each other up, initiating the last attack while leaning on the shelter. The recoil of the rifle knocks him to the ground, while the new wound spread apart as powder fluid oozes out. Where are the flags? I cannot fall. You guys. The last attack has not destroyed the memory shell, the corrupted. Petrol dripping from the remaining half of its torso, it flings its weapon and strikes toward Wanchi's head. Seems like this is where I end. Wanchi! Deafening roar comes from afar. Wanchi opens his eyes out of instinct to search for the source of the sound. He sees the dark greatsword Kamui before him as the corrupted is kicked aside with its memory shell broken to pieces. This moment, the last star that held Wanchi together was no longer there. He dropped to the ground hard and fell into a coma. What happened? You're up! Finally! Thompson was right. Right. How are the others? And the corrupted? Relax. It's over. All corrupted in this area have been cleared. Thompson and the others are taking care of the wounded. Is that so? It's not too bad. Huh? To do what I can. And to move forward again. Just do it without considering the consequences and whether it's true or false. The body making the judgment for the mind upon what's happening. Seems like you're starting to get this feeling. Kamui, is Wanchi awake? Buster walks into the shelter where Wan Shi is in and asks calmly. Or looks at Wan Shi only to find that he's closed his eyes again. He was awake, but he fell asleep again. Shh, don't wake him up. You're the latest here, idiot. Well, it's a good thing that he sleeps. At least it's better than insomnia. Haven't figured it out, I guess he can sleep sounder and longer now. Professor, I still don't have a perfect answer for your question. I'm well aware that the sins of the past cannot be undone. But now, I have to fight and move forward carrying the burden of those lies in the past. I'm not doing this to prove that those lies are real, or right, or wrong. I'm doing this to protect those around me from being hurt by them. It's time for you and me, as well as the Star of Life, to move forward and make some changes. And again, it's like, this is an interesting concept, because like I said, it's like, this closely resembles like that whole situation with like Alpha and Lucy as well. Like being abandoned and everything, and two different versions of them existing in it. And that's like only the tip of the iceberg as well. But alright, that was the Wan Shi one done. Yeah, so who's all? I'll probably do Selena's next, because again, it's like, I want to know what she's been doing that whole time since she had her body back. Well, saying she had her body back is probably not the right way to phrase it. Finally has control of her body again. There we go. The shepherd. Yeah, because it's like, when I look back at how she ended up in that situation, the space station, it's like, it's so cruel, you know? Like, all those emotions that she must have been feeling and all of that. It's like, wow, that hurt. If I had read that and then seen Selena now, I probably would have shed a couple tears seeing her like that. Like, holy shit. Dear Selena, what will you be doing when you receive the letter? My first time writing you a letter. Fine, it's also my first time writing a letter. I'm guessing this is Isla. I reckon this is the only way I can share my thoughts with you now. We're planning to write a story recently. A play. Perhaps you'll be surprised when you read the script. Maybe you'll laugh. I'm a novice when it comes to theater after all, and the story's suitably amateurish. But you get yourself involved after you're done laughing, won't you? You'll mentor me and offer suggestions. Wouldn't that be great? I have a photo with me as I'm writing this. An image of an opera house down there on the surface. You said you had always wanted to visit it since you saw a photo of it when we were young. Of course, you wouldn't just be there for the opera house. It's located near evacuation site 184. The Great Evacuation. So many remnants of great artwork that you want to see. Remember this one? It was one of the first interludes. Oh, okay, cool. Then I think about it, the opera house is probably already abandoned without the resources and labor to maintain it. And it's no longer as beautiful as its picture. Still, I can't help but wonder. You passed by it on your journey. You were there right now. What would you do? Tell me, Selena. If the Pantheon still existed today, it probably won't stand any more impressive than this. A giant chandelier, beautiful and extravagant, hangs from a magnificent dome, illuminating the famous mural above with its refracted lights from multiple angles. No one knows if there's any discrepancies between that and the original. No one cares whether the details match the records for that matter. All it has to do is to be there, just like the pillars carved with detailed scenes and contribute to the opulence and grandeur of the building. Every inch of this place is indescribably ostentatious. Unfortunately, this is probably the last and dreamiest opera house left in the world. I'm just gonna read this in my normal voice, okay? It's not the regular Selena voice, so I'm just gonna read it normally. An opera house of this caliber is right here, sitting in an old evacuation site for the Great Evacuation. Right, that must be it. Light breeze slips through a gap in a cracked ceiling, gently moving a curtain hung on a beam. Sunlight sneaks in from a hole in the curtain, casting a spotlight on the stage, moving as the curtain shifts and sways until it lands on the girl who's been standing there for a while. Shall I compare thee to a summer's day? Thou art more lovely and more temperate. Stepping out from the sunlight, she gently skips across the gaps on the stage, stopping at the apron before taking half a step back. Sally bends her knees and curtsies. Light from above illuminates the small letters embroidered on her dress. Flora. Summer's leaves have all too short a date. Sometime too hot, the eye of heaven shines, and often is his gold complexion dimmed, and every fair from fair sometime declines, by chance or nature's changing course untrimmed. But thy eternal summer shall not fade, nor lose possession of that fair thou owest, nor shall death brag thou wanderest in his shade, when in eternal lines to time thou growest. So long as men can breathe or eyes can see, so long lives live, and this gives life to thee. Ladies and gentlemen, thanks for watching our show. The girl reads to an empty theater. After a while, she finds to take a small step back. No, I should be more earnest. Thank you for coming to this performance, my most esteemed guest. Right, that's more likely. More like it. Spins turning to face the audience again. A small book in her hand, she raises it looking solemn. Before the curtain rises, allow me to tell you a story. The story of a gentleman I knew. A scavenger he was, and a soldier too. Misery bound unlike the Babylonians, a ticket to Eden was not his fate. Fortune smiled upon him. He fared better than most as a scavenger taken in by a conservation area. Dew from the sky garden blessed the arid land where shelter sprouted, warning the watering white. Well, that was what he concluded. I didn't really understand the meaning of it, but he was a lucky man regardless. Noticing that she's forgotten to maintain her expression during her mumbles, she rubs her cheeks and picked up the script again. His long time of roaming filled his ears with words of self-pity. The world owed him, he thought, and he thought how it only took from him, and not those living in the sky. He'd live a life of more if only others had less. Words of woe would not wither the warmth within him wivel. I can't tell if she's doing that on purpose or she's accidentally adding the extra W's. He met art, a burning sun, underneath which crops grew in the farms, grass thrived in the fields, and flowers flourished by the rivers. The shadow of pity dissipated as the sun shone upon him, melting his cold, cruel heart. Mist of its light is a flower that radiated the brightest. A story of a hero the flower told, about a man who sacrificed himself for his comrades, contrite his soul not being. He blessed his parting friends on his dying breath. The flower in the sun warmed the wanderer's heart. Fire begot fire, and the next sun our scavenger vowed to be. What a glorious Cossack soldier he became. A mere first step there was on the path of the flaming star. Cedro planned on his way forward. His own story of the flower he saw, invigorated and retold by him. The last battle, fierce and deadly it was, saw the inevitable sacrifice of our marching soldier. Gone he may be, his tales of valor guide us still on the pilgrimage to art. I stand among the pilgrims. No, I'm sure I was the first of them. Coach looks up lightly before holding the script again. Straightforward journey this has not been. Some were lost in sorrow from his passing. His wife, for instance, once passionate about the radiance of art with her husband and child, the lady of the house was no less talented, gifted with a voice that moves heaven. Blissful she looked in a duet with her love. Pain and misery remained in the poor woman's eyes whenever she came across the script after her husband parted. She spoke of his demise on the battlefield as harrowing and dreadful. The noble spirits in the stories paled in the face of death. Whispering those words, she just looked hurt. I don't want to see my mom like that. It hurts me as well, just like Dad's death. She stopped speaking as the memories of losing a loved one hit her young and frail heart like lightning once again. The gentle and strong arms that could lift her and dance are no more, lost in gunpowder and smoke. She thought it would hurt less if she told the story from someone else's perspective. Still, she cannot help but cry when the story reaches her father's end. She craves for protection and warm hugs his arms once offered. There's no warmth in her tears. Sorry about that. Every night you would hold me and comfort me. I do appreciate it. but I still hear weeping every night, even when I found a way to anchor my memories of him and learn to comfort others. Mom, you were the one crying. You only cried when I fell asleep. I wanted to get Dad back so you stop feeling so hurt. No, I've already found him. He's always beside us, in his blazing room. Her fingers clutch the script in her hand. That's why I'm here, in the center of the art capital. This was one of the many evacuation points during the Great Evacuation. This place also held on to many wondrous relics of past civilizations. Bathed in their light, I'll do my best to perform Dad's past deeds. Heroic tales that moved him, the songs we sang to our neighbors, small props we made ourselves. They're all parts of the soul Dad left behind. He said that sacrifice shouldn't just inflict pain. They should inspire bravery and evoke hope with the calm after the storm. If I can understand his hope, the spirit of his play, then maybe you'll understand. That Dad never left us. We can move forward with the hope he gifted us. With that, Flora curtsies once more. Then, please enjoy this performance, which is also a rehearsal, of course. The only response she gets is the breeze and the rattling rocks. Because the wind blows past her clothes, revealing her arm behind the sleeve. Shows signs of infection from the punishing virus. Dear Selena, were you resting from your tiring journey when you received this letter? As I said, I'm trying to write a play, but it's proved to be more difficult than I imagined. It's a one-woman journey, a path laid where precursor's footsteps. But it's been so difficult to take the right turn. To provoke the emotions I wanted, I even did something akin to an author. Made a fool out of myself. I've attached my foolish deeds. You see this, you can laugh at my mishap as a dear friend could. I must admit, these laughs attest to my apprehension as a young creator. Should I word it like that? Is that metaphor weird? These questions of uncertainty pop up every so often in the process. But the one thing that really shook me was a photo of you I just discovered when I was looking into the archives. It's a photo the mother took of you at the end of the premiere night of the Acadia evacuation. You were smiling, but you were more unsettled than I am now. You were even panicking. What happened to you that day? What did you see? You were unnerved by your own work. Why was that? Tell me, Selena. This is a record. Not something as official as a report, nor as private as a diary. It's just words, like something you would say to your friend when you talked about your day. I wish to record my current situation in the form of letters. I'm currently at Conservation Area 184 near the old evacuation site during the Great Evacuation. As a member of the archaeological team, no, I myself have always wanted to visit this region. Now, taking advantage of an expedition mission for the WGAA, I finally had the opportunity to visit this area after the red field subsided. Not just to study this place, but to commemorate a hero as well. I thought I would be singing an ode for the hero, or searching among the ruins outside the conservation area for the relics we couldn't bring to Babylonia all those years ago. But here I am, finding myself before an unexpected audience. I just have a quick... Yo, what's up, Pastor? Okay? Sorry about that. Had to reload the stream manager because it was stuck for a second. What are you writing, miss? Oh, this? Selena's hand stops at the cursive word flowing out of her pen and reaches the end of its throat. Wait, I'm kind of confused. Who exactly was that first Selena? Because I thought she was fine normally before she became a construct. And they willingly chose to only after. Or maybe it's just showing that it's like she had a bit of punishing. So it's like that also pushed her to become a construct. Maybe. No, but she was so human when she... what's it called? When she had people perform her Acadia evacuation play, right? Or am I missing something? They're just records. Like stories. Keep going. What happened to Prospero afterward? Oh, of course. Afterward, Prospero. Yes, I'm enjoying telling stories to the children here. They were fairy tales in the beginning, but we somehow moved on to plays now. What surprised me was how much the children here have an innate understanding of stories. Fairy tales or plays, they more or less grasp the core emotions of them all. Perhaps all children had a capacity for art, like seeds, waiting to be woken by spring. It might be arrogant of me to say this, but I hope the stories I told here will bring them a puff of spring breeze. I hope this breeze will reach all corners of this earth. Wait, I think I remember this. Wasn't the commandant on a mission with Isla at one point? And then one of them was interested in like the arts and stuff. As like, I think they mentioned that someone else had come by and influenced them on that. I think, or maybe I'm misremembering something. Sorry, I don't know why I'm trying to recollect this now. I should just only focus on the interlude itself. Just like that, Prospero renounced magic and forgave his enemy, returned to his kingdom. That's not right. How did Prospero forgive his brother so easily? Right? Antonio screwed him over. Why wouldn't he punish the bad guy? Well, let's start with the beginning of this character's arc. Right. An arc of a character is the gradual transformation of a character in the story. About that, perhaps I shouldn't explain it outright. You need to think about it yourselves. Why? Well, stories don't come with correct answers. You can come to your own conclusion. It's perhaps a compliment to the storyteller as well. So, do you want to listen to a song while you think? Of course, of course. Now if you would pay attention. As Lee says that, her gaze lands at the crowd in the distance. Conservation Area 184 is situated near an old evacuation site, the Great Evacuation. Even when ravaged by war, the city nearby is still marked by artworks from the past. Refugees from that city also carry these marks as well. After they were sheltered, the citizens here would share stories and rumors with the soldiers and vice versa, prompted by brief chance interactions. The children even said that operas from Babylonia would play here sometimes. Right now, this is not a relaxed place where people are exchanging tales. On the contrary, Selena can see the sadness that lingers on everyone's faces. A few weeks before arrival, a moderate-sized battle took place here. Despair on people's faces echoes what transpired. They need the comfort that a child would need, so Selena's chosen a lullaby. She starts gently like a mother rocking a baby's cradle. As the song progresses, she increases her volume slowly, making sure her voice is carried beyond the children encircling her. As the song quiets down, her voice still manifests brightly. Her gentle voice can calm every child it can reach. This is a lullaby. There are songs that comfort children, that comfort everyone. Will Prospero hear it too? Perhaps Prospero needed a lullaby too. What kind of lullaby do you think he'd need? I think a gentle one like the one you sang is enough. After all his adventures, he might need some compliments on top of comfort. That's not right. Celia smiles, walking away from the group of children. Need a space where they can talk amongst themselves. And she finally has a chance to head toward the person she's been searching for. Excuse me, are you Peter? I am. The soldier raises his head for maintenance and takes off his gears. Slee salutes him. Nice to meet you. My name is Selena. Babylonia has learned about what transpired during the battle near Conservation Area 184. You've been instrumental during the fight, leading a squad in carrying out a vital decapitation operation. Your bravery was instrumental in preventing a catastrophe in the conservation area. Everyone alive here is grateful for your contribution. Babylonia recognizes your actions and would love to bring you up to commemorate you. It's my honor. I'll head up if I have time. Spots a simple direct without a hint of joy. Isaiah gathers from his age that he's long used to commendation like this. He doesn't like speaking, however. The notice for commendation could have been done with comms. I was expecting a person. The song you sang, that was your idea? It was. I thought it would bring some comfort, in the most gentle way. Away from the bonds and rules of the highbrow art world, Selena cannot help but relax in a simpler place like this. She can be more direct about her intent and thoughts with others. I worried that I would offend those of you who were on the battlefield, so I decided to sing to the children instead, hoping the song would reach your ears as well. Looks at the scientist, she says that, and thinks prefer a browse of the sorrowful crowd if indeed eased a little. Perhaps commendations and operas cannot heal the wounded and fight off the enemies. But if there are fighters who protect during battles, there should be fighters who remember afterward. Piero the logistician, Bovar the scout, Celia the analyst, and many, many others. I was sent here to make sure they're not forgotten, to make sure their families and the people here understand what they've given, so that the people who live can share the light and have their spirits soothed. This is what the commendation is for. Is that so? You did well. You're Selena, right? I've heard of you. A rising star for WGAA. Was expecting to find you here. Thank you, Selena. Received your notification. Still have a mission coming up. Excuse me. Of course. But please, one more thing. You should know a man named Florence. He was a member of your team. He assisted you in decapitating the target corrupted during that battle. It was crucial to the outcome. Children informed me that Florence joined the army because of an opera that moved him. As a fellow soldier and art lover, I wish to show my gratitude for his courage. I was hoping to locate his family to deliver Babyloni's recognition to them, bringing comfort to his family and friends. Would you like to join me as his captain after you complete your mission? Of course. That's what I usually do. Thank you very much. Would you mind telling me where he lived? I can show you the way, miss. Uncle Florence lived quite far away. If Uncle Peter's busy, I can take you there. If I take you, can you sing that song again? Just that my mom passed during the battle. The song reminded me of the lullaby she sang me. I want to record the song so I can listen to it later. Is that alright? Of course, dear. We can do this now. Child's spirit is as delicate as an adult, and is resilient. So he looks at Peter, who nods and turns to leave. As he said, he still has a mission to attend. Boyd takes out an old recording device from his large coat, sustaining its external speaker as a morning glory flower. Uncle Florence made this himself. We all got one from him. I think I had to press this to start recording. The boy finds a button on the device and presses it. Selena prepares to sing. Instead of a notification that the recording's starting, what they hear is an aria. That's not it. It's a song Uncle Florence recorded. How do I stop this? The boy fills the recording device in a panic, but Selena catches his fluttering arms and holds him down. Hold on. Please, let me hear this. Lowers a gaze, watching the recorder in frozen place. The boy assumes Selena's enjoying the opera recording, so he stays silent for a second before speaking quietly. Uncle Florence loved this opera very much. He said that's what made him join the army in the first place. The boy seems to be sharing with Selena how he feels and recalling what he was thinking the first time he heard this song. I also like it a lot. It reminds me of what the grown-ups fighting the monsters outside the conservation area said. The reasons they fight. What did Mom sacrifice herself for? What was she thinking before she stepped out and fought? I seem to understand a little bit more every time I hear this song. That's important. Is that so? She answered briefly before turning her attention back to the aria. It's a magnificent flaunting melody. The singer's passionate voice evokes angry shouts at times, tearful cries at others. Two emotions interweave and linger on a thread called death, lament for someone who passed. The voice pushes and pulls, reaching high and low, finally approaching the climax. Then a hand pushes the stop button hurriedly. Uncle Peter? The veteran who was heading out for a mission appears behind Selena out of nowhere. Reed, your dad's looking for you. He needs your help with your mother's things. Oh, I'll get going. Miss, can I come find you later? Sure, of course. The boy picks up his recorder and leaves in a hurry. So he watches him go, but her eyes are not focusing on his figure or anything else. Oh, okay, good. I thought there was I thought it was like, I need to reconnect my AirPods again. Can I ask you a question, sir? Shoot. I heard what the boy played. It was a small part of an opera. The boy said that Florence decided to join the army after hearing it. Know the opera well. It's called Acadia Evacuation. I wrote it. don't think too much of it. It was my fault I couldn't stop him from sacrificing himself. You should be proud of your talent. Your work was influential and powerful enough to carry on the legacy you claimed. You did everything you set out to do. So you closed her eyes. She used the Tempest. She thought she had found the meaning behind her belief in her passion. Afraid she could build a ship that sheltered people from the storm, taking her through all the unknown tempests in the sea. She never thought that the Tempest would brew from what she loves. But the people she mourns now was on the battlefield because of her song. The truth revealed to her by the boy, she finds herself once again drifting in the Tempest as Ferdinand and Antonio did. You wouldn't mind telling me, where is the girl they call Flora? Tempest still brewing, but Selena sails forward. I want to see her. She's not here right now. The mission I just received says she left her home last night. I'm going to go get her back. Wait. I'm confused. When would this have taken place? Because I know this is after she was freed from Gabriel's experiment, but when did she come back to Babylonia? I thought she was still doing her own thing. Well, no, actually, then again, I guess she is in her first real frame, not the Tempest frame or whatever the second one is called. But yeah, it's like, when would this have taken place then? I'm kind of confused, because I thought Selena wasn't working with them anymore. Or I guess, like, she was working secretly on her own. So she shouldn't be with the WGA anymore. Or maybe this was before that mission where she didn't come back from? Because I guess maybe it was relatively a while back from when she had the play performed and then turned to a construct and again going on that mission, I think. Because it's like, if that was the case, why was Selena in a different frame compared to that? Well, no, actually, wait, what frame was she even in back then? Let's just see. Oh yeah, because she was in her Tempest frame back then, so it's like, why wouldn't she have had the Caprizia frame on at the time? I'm kind of confused here. It's not really telling me the chronological order for this. I can't really make it out. Dear Selena, I just came back from visiting your mother as I'm writing this letter. She looked better than before. She must stop talking about how good your opera was. It was obvious that she was still proud of her daughter's achievements. Seeing how proud she looked, I couldn't help but think how nice it'd be if you were here to guide me right now. That's right, I need a guide. A mentor who knows about stories to show me the way. Simply put, I hit writer's block, a bottleneck in the story. It's the first time I realized that writers do want to bang their heads on a wall in situations like this. Luckily, it wasn't a particularly stubborn block. Your mom expertly suggested how the story could progress once I mentioned my predicament. I know she's a talented vocalist, but her insights on storytelling also impressed me greatly. Okay, just need to make sure the studio manager was fine. Was that how you grew up, surrounded by their wisdom and knowledge? How did you convince them when you decided to become a construct? You moved the family that you loved so much with the same earnestness even before that? Tell me, Selena. Yours Isla. Cold, hunger, unprompted fatigue, and pain kept hitting Flora's body in waves. Her throat dry, her voice harsh sounding. The weakness from speaking the lines for so long is tormenting her. She wants to be comforted and cared for as every child does. What would Mom do at a time like this? The young girl tries to find comfort in her memories, but soon she shakes her head. I can't think of anything. Mom's usually more anxious than me in situations like this. Hunger and cold are constants for scavengers. There's nothing scarier for those who have found shelter and warm food than returning to those days. Oh, okay, no, so Flora and Selena are two different people. Okay. At least at this point, because I was going to say, is like, why is it like that? Oh, no. Okay, I think I really get it now. So maybe she was in the Caprizio frame at first, but then she decided to probably get something that, or get a frame that looks like Flora, I guess? But like an older version? I'm so lost. Whenever conservation area is hit by corrupted or supplies stop because of natural disasters, the people living there will return to the horrifying nightmare. Flora remembers her mother holding her in fear when that happens. Her mother's trembling lips humming an out-of-tune lullaby. Pride of mother would show when their family performs or sings with neighbors is nowhere to be found. Yet Flora does not understand this. All she knows is that sometimes her mother is even more delicate than her, needing someone to look after her. Then, what would I have done? She thinks for a second and smiles. I would say, it's okay, Mom. Things here aren't really that scary. They're all pretty, you just don't look at what they are now. Suddenly points at a den in the audience where a pool of stale water sits. Look, Belays of Ophelia might have floated past here along the creek in the distance. She does that a lot. Her father taught her everything. She turns and points at the remaining half of a stone pillar, surface scored with marks of weathering, a standing record of time past. Look there. Perhaps David was watching this place with his pebble, waiting for Goliath's arrival. Every view she sees, every color it contains, they were all once beautiful at some point in time. In Flora's world, all fear is gone with all its beauty. Flora's mother would always hold Flora intensely afterward, trembling hands caressing Flora's cheek until she would calm down and smile, the gentle smile that she would normally wear. This is what she would do. This was what she was doing the night before her father left. That's how she can comfort her mother. Flora raises her finger suddenly. Look, that ray of sunlight. It showered this earth for billions of years. It's still shining today. It's an eye. A compassionate eye that carries warmth. Its tender gaze has brought this land prosperity. The breeze blows by, lifting the curtain and shaking off the dust on it. Under the ray of sunlight, the dust turns into glistening ripples, reaching Flora's nose. It was her fingers before coughing constantly as she breathes the dust in. After a brief moment of having trouble breathing, Flora is half kneeling, half sitting on the floor, feeling she cannot even stand. Without her parents' warm embrace or hot food to feed herself, her small fair body is aching. Maybe I should tell myself what I tell Mom now. If they can make her smile, then I can smile too. She whispers to herself. Struggling to stand up, she leans on the wall. Then, another story. The wind flips over the script by her feet, sending her a shiver through her thin jacket. She sneezes, but she tries her best to maintain her impassioned voice. This one's the story of an older gentleman. The gentleman's name is Peter. He's a hero of the conservation area. He's our hero. He can travel to the place the Sky Dwellers retreated to, and he can bring back a lot of stories from their haven. One of the stories he brought back, the one that was the most interesting and impacted me the most, was an opera. It was called The Acadia Evacuation, written by a young playwright from Babylonia. My friends and I, as well as our parents, would gather and watch the opera on a big screen, read by Peter's narration. It was an emotional and magnificent story. Every one of us was moved. Dad left very quickly that day. He missed our dance. The dance. It's just me and my friends trying to do something to express our feelings while we still had the strength to do so. I didn't know what we could do to express how we felt except for moving our arms and legs and dancing. Regardless, I took reading the others, and we started waving our hands, celebrating the hero's ending in the story. Back against the wall, Flora lifts a hand, imagining the day when she danced with her friends. She's dancing the lead role. She imagines guiding her friends into graceful dances. She doesn't know how many times they've stepped on each other's toes if she were actually dancing with them, steady as she is right now, but she's enjoying the solo dance in her imagination. All of a sudden, she reaches her hand upward as if asking the sunlight from the gap in the ceiling to join her. Wait, didn't I ask Uncle Peter to dance with me as well? He refused. His frame was too big to dance with someone like me. I did try thinking I could jump and dance at the same time, but I messed up all my steps. Luckily, Uncle Peter was very encouraging. Out of nowhere, he looked at me and said I reminded him of his child. Peter's son likes stories as much as I do. Jump up and down every time he heard one. Uncle Peter remembers that his son asked him to return soon to continue his story on the day before the actual great evacuation. But he was too busy carrying statues or paintings or something for the Sky Dwellers. Anyways, he didn't tell his son how that story ended. What a shame. Really heard an incomplete story. Difficult it must have been for his son to have to wait for the ending of the story. If I could meet Uncle Peter's son, he must be old enough to be my uncle too. If I meet him, I have to talk to him about this story of his. Hope I can comfort him with how agonizing he must be with only half a story. But every time I told Uncle Peter about this, he would look like he was about to cry. He said he probably wouldn't see his son for a very, very long time. I said something to him to comfort him. Right, what was it I said? Oh, right. I said, there must be a lot of stories he can tell his son when they see each other again. I know that war is a very terrifying thing. As horrible as it is, it can't cover up all the good things ahead of us. Just like what Dad used to say. Laura raises her arms in joy, like the air as if embracing her parents. She mentions the veteran storyteller standing nearby, ready to tell the next tale. It worked. Right then, Flora realizes she's smiling as she hugs herself. Smiling because of what she envisioned. Her smile is as endearing as her mother's when comforted. It reaffirms what she believes. Her sincere performance and imagination will touch her mother, and her mother will understand how she feels, how her father felt. Picks up the script once again. Dear Selena, started work on my story again after receiving your mother's suggestions. The writing has since been going. Smoothly, more or less. I'm afraid I don't have more updates regarding it right now. To compensate, I attached the funny thing that happened during the writing process. In my last letter alarmed you, I hope this one will offer you a peace of mind. My bad. Even better if it makes you laugh. I seen you smile, but it was always a polite smile before your mother or other guests. Even I've rarely seen you smile comfortably as yourself. But I can't forget it, having seen it once. Not long before you became a consul and joined the archaeological team, you helped us saw an opera from a composer in the Golden Age. You couldn't wait to contact me the moment you finished listening to that old performance. When I saw that beautiful bright smile on your face, that was the real thing. You smiled as you told me how much you were enjoying the opera, how it still lingered with you. You're wondering who this composer was and for what reason this person joined the fight. You were thinking about how you would tell him what his work meant to you. Listening to it right now as I write this. It's been entered into WGAA's archives. Now everyone can listen to the story that made you smile. What kind of image would you conjure up when you hear about this? If you meant that composing your journey, what would you say? Selena, you've been standing here for a while ever since we entered this area. What's wrong? This area is too barren to be called a city ruin. The echoes of past civilizations mean this is no wilderness area. This is one of the ruins of the Great Evacuation site. A large battle took place here a few weeks ago. And the most crucial figure in that fight is standing right in front of her. I'm performing my duty as a member of the archaeological team and searching for art data at this evacuation site. I was just considering where to start. She then looks at the colors-covered ground. She's not sure if it's the work of someone or nature. A sea of flowers has blossomed in the war-ravaged field. A few of the petals have been crushed, leaving behind small footprints. I'm also looking for a girl named Flora. I heard she left the conservation area for a while now. She'll likely get infected in this area with low punishing virus concentration. The trails of artwork I found just happened to lead me to this place. And here I am, running into you. She looks at the small footprints. The girl was running across the field a few hours ago in the night. Thanks for helping, but just having more boots on the ground doesn't make the search easier. Searching for missing people from the conservation area is my job and expertise. You're from WGAA. You're here for the commendation. And I suppose. There's the stone wall next to him. Complex and artistic patterns cover the surface where a faded plate engraved on top vaguely reads Evacuation Site 184 Arcadia Evacuation. You're here for them as well, right? Let's all focus on our own missions. You're right. In that case, would you allow me to assist you while I carry out my own mission? Look, this is a standard pattern you'd find in a large gallery right before the main hall. Flora would have recognized it and headed for the gallery. She would. Points to one side of the stone wall. Head that way. You looked into Florence's girl? I simply asked around among children. They told me that Flora is a well-known art lover in Conservation Area 184. She's up behind paintings and notes about her dreams and the story she wants to tell. Clearly, Florence taught her much. Now that she's run away, somewhere fairly concentrated with the punishing virus away from the conservation area, and is nowhere to be found. It was because of what her mother did. After Flora's mother heard about her husband's death, she threw away most of his work in a moment of grief, while Flora collected them back, again and again. Eventually, she left with those work without anyone noticing. Flora would have left this with complicated feelings, hoping to find a way to save her grieving mother. She might not have a destination in mind, but when she reached here, she must have slowed down for the ruins as an art lover. She might be wondering what these places looked like in the past. This could have been a supple field where wheat, barley, rye, wild beans, and peas flourish. Gives her hand to her waist, opening her palm as if the crops she mentioned are really here, just touching them. These could have been the turfy mountains where the sheep nibble, the flat meads thatched with stover, and the blanks were piled into old brims. But this is nothing now. In an instant, Peter's words take away the crops in the fields, leaving behind the barren land and a few shrubs that are there. Right. My apologies. Regardless, thanks for your help. I'll head that way and look for her footprints. He takes a few steps toward where Selena pointed, and he indeed discovered Flora's small footprints among the bushes. Following the footprints in the landscape, he analyzed it where the trail leads while advancing. Selena, meanwhile, follows closely behind. Speaking of which, do you know what the most famous painting among these ruins was? It used to be a gallery, and that painting used to be hung here. It was a long painting of a starry sky. It could have stretched from this end to the other, covering the whole wall. The artist painted it while threatened by hunger and cold. She touches the wall, her fingers gently gliding over a rough surface as if the painting was still there before. I still remember how shocked I was when I first saw it. The sun above our head has been shining upon us for billions of years. Who knows how many light years those stars had to travel to arrive here? This planet is like an eye, and wherever it looks, it's enveloped by the light from the sun. But the light from a star has nothing to do with a planet. Otherwise, every planet could be an eye for your logic. That's a good point. She smiles, seemingly having found a rare person who understands her. A correction, then. There isn't just an eye in the universe. There are also gazes. Perhaps one day in the future ours will be the gaze of another star. When that happens, we could very well communicate with each other. But the method might be unconventional and ineffective, like writing letters. What do you think, Peter? Well, you went from a painting to aliens very quickly. I suppose it's fair that an opera composer such as you would have such a rich imagination. That's all he says before leaning down and continuing his search in the field for Flora's footprints. But I must correct you on one thing. Aliens might be a little too far away from us. Even if we could establish communication, it would take too long. We wouldn't have time to translate their language before our civilizations are gone and vice versa. The distance of time, is it? Right. It is a shame then. But even lost civilizations leave behind traces. They would have a long time to appreciate the marks we left behind. As long as we keep looking, the light of our art still travels across the universe. Then one day we will meet. I believe those lives would have expressed their light despite the pain and loss, leaving behind their marks. We would call those marks art. Right. Isn't expression a fundamental part of art? Whether it's done through brushes, words, or other media, that expression offered to the world is art. Just like how the starry night was expressed in a painting even when the artist was starving and freezing. Artists worked tirelessly to leave behind these marks to share their thoughts with others, even across time itself. Hunger and cold would not stop them when they would sacrifice themselves for art. For that, art might be as crucial to humankind as food or sleep. Don't you think?
It's missing. Saying it's not completely certain. So there's something else in his voice.
So, according to you, the lives we lost on the battlefield in those merciless slaughters would think about art as well. I might seem too arrogant if I said yes, but I think it is art as long as it's expressed truthfully, whether it's from a mother who gives her life to her child, or soldiers who deliver a message to their comrades. As for someone who thinks about art on the battlefield, I'd say that would be you, sir. Actually, I didn't think of this myself. I learned about it from a scene in the opera. Oh, my bad. I thought it was still continuing. A Hero's Farewell, Act 3, Scene 6. Written by none other than you, sir, I believe. Its ending shook me to my very core, juxtaposing death and the power of imagination. I can talk to you about my juvenile fantasies only because I've seen your work. You're far more creative than I am, sir. He looks into Selena's eyes for a long time. Eventually he sighs. I didn't think someone would still be talking about that work today. The work you left behind during the Golden Age has influenced a lot of people in WGAA. Although you have refused to join us, we all consider you to be our pioneer. Now, the composer doesn't refuse the young artist's gesture, but he doesn't acknowledge it either. I appreciate it, but please forget about it. Phony is what it is. Please don't say that. What you wanted to say to the world when you were young has all been heard. You're good at expressing your feelings. That's what art should do. Is that so? Selena, all the words you say, you just want to find Florence's girl and ask her about something, don't you? After his long silence, his attitude suddenly shifts. He appeared to change the topic, calling Selena by her name. Indeed. I was hoping to get permission from you to talk to her directly. In that case, what if I tell you that his ending wasn't how you'd think it was? You looked into the dead soldiers here and sang for them. It's great. Departed souls will thank you for your efforts, but no more than that. The bravado and lofty promises couldn't stand the last bullet that took them. Do you actually believe that they sacrificed themselves for the greater good, as they said? Please tell me if there's something I don't know. So he thought he was clearing his throat for what he was about to say. Said Peter is preparing to sing. He's gone through this story in his head again and again, only waiting for someone to listen. Time is of the essence. We'll walk and talk. Deep and dense, the rising bass raises the curtain for the prolonged display. Oh, my bad. Captain, our battlefront damage rate has exceeded the limit. The corrupted are coming over to siege us. We can't hold the front much longer. Don't panic, rookie. Don't let fear control you. A collective action of the corrupted. According to records, there must be a corrupted signaling device that rallies them among them. Store that device so they won't be much of a threat to us. So you know what to do? Locate the corrupted, signaling the device with the radar detector and shoot them with precision. I disagree. We could reveal our own coordinates and attract the corrupted here. So whoever finds that signaling corrupted, immediately contact the others and launch the decapitation strike. This way, even if we fail, it will leave a way for those behind. I object. The built-in radar detector in the frame is damaged. It's very hard to conduct a detection task of such high precision. Then use the high precision radar on our tactical equipment instead. We have to find a higher location. Has to be a suitable location nearby. Alright, I agree. Start searching the map. Got it. Sent the coordinates to you. Wait, there's a signal tower several kilometers away from there. It'll amplify the signals. If we activate the radar near there, the corruptor will be gathering even faster. Leave us no time to retreat. Okay, we'll keep that in mind. The success of the operation is our only goal. Alright, let's move. You go with the rookie. I go on my own. Any objections?
出発。
これじゃキリがない。機体損傷率が。私は整備が必要だから、新兵、先に行って偵察をお願いできる。私は後から追いつくから。
了解。
油断した。新兵、新兵、応答せよ。くそ、通信機が壊れてる。仕方ない。レーダーを起動するしか。新兵が生き残れるように私が頑張らないと。あとは隊長の判断に任せるわ。彼なら分かっているはず。
ここなら通れそうだ。すぐ連絡しないと。先輩、先輩、聞こえたら返事を。レーダー信号がなぜ。くそ、先輩の通信機が壊れたのか。僕が先輩より急がないと。電波塔なら信号が強いし範囲も広い。ここまでたどり着いた。発生装置が壊れそうだ。急いで電波塔を起動して。電波塔、信号を拡散できる電波塔を。通信がこれは。おい、状況を報告しろ。なぜお前の信号が電波塔にある。発生装置が壊れたのか。画像がぼやけて情報が見えない。いずれにせよすぐにそこを離れろ。そこは遠隔操作でレーダーを起動しろ。これはああ、侵食装置の位置を特定した。くそ、こんなに近くにあったとは。ああ、どうか夏の夜にいい夢を。出発。
これじゃキリがない。機体損傷率が。私は整備が必要だから、新兵、先に行って偵察をお願いできる。私は後から追いつくから。
了解。
兵が生き残れるように私が頑張らないと。あとは隊長の判断に任せるわ。彼なら分かっているはず。
ここなら通れそうだ。すぐ連絡しないと。先輩、先輩、聞こえたら返事を。レーダー信号がなぜ。電波塔、信号を拡散できる電波塔を。
通信がこれは。おい、状況を報告しろ。なぜお前の信号が電波塔にある？発生装置が壊れたのか？画像がぼやけて情報が見えない。いずれにせよすぐにそこを離れろ。そこは遠隔操作でレーダーを起動しろ。これはああ、侵食装置の位置を特定した。くそ、こんなに近くにあったとは。ああ、どうか夏の夜にいい夢を。出発！
これじゃキリがない。機体損傷率が。私は整備が必要だから、新兵、先に行って偵察をお願いできる？私は後から追いつくから。
了解。
応答せよ。通信機が壊れてる。仕方ない。レーダーを起動するしか。新兵が生き残れるように私が頑張らないと。あとは隊長の判断に任せるわ。彼なら分かっているはず。
聞こえたら返事を。レーダー信号がなぜ。くそ、先輩の通信機が壊れたのか。僕が先輩より急がないと。電波塔なら信号が強いし範囲も広い。やっとここまでたどり着いた。発生装置が壊れそうだ。急いで電波塔を起動して。電波塔、信号を拡散できる電波塔を。
通信がこれは。おい、状況を報告しろ。なぜお前の信号が電波塔にある？発生装置が壊れたのか？画像がぼやけて情報が見えない。いずれにせよすぐにそこを離れろ。そこは遠隔操作でレーダーを起動しろ。これはああ、侵食装置の位置を特定した。くそ、こんなに近くにあったとは。ああ、どうか夏の夜にいい夢を。
Okay, I'm pretty sure I'm supposed to be doing something, but I can't do anything about it, so... Boy, I think this is one of those cases where I'm gonna have to go on my phone again and try this, because... I'll be honest, I'm trying to press whatever that button is, but again, for some reason, it just takes out my mouse when I do it. It's like... I honestly can't be bothered to do that, so just give me a couple minutes, I'll be back.
洋服データに異常？
Alright, I'm back. Sorry about that. Yeah, it's like, again, it's like I ended up in that situation where it's like my mouse didn't do it, or I couldn't like move to do the thing, because it's like I had to hear the whole story and then make a decision on like what did I think actually happened there. Okay, let's see. It was for dark, right? So yeah, here we go. Okay, so yeah, what it actually was that it wasn't the soldier who went down. It was the commanding construct that had fallen. Because the battle was retold almost the same way that it was in the play. Like in that intense battle, the soldier activated a wide area search radar alone for decapitation operation on a corrupted signaling device. And the search did attract corrupted to the location. He said the gruesome scene Peter showing his terminal was of the soldier's fate. It was that he saw Florence dying right in front of him as he said the location there. Should have said coordinates followed by a string of garbled codes. So the soldier was shouting out the coordinates in the comms before his voice was dispersed. Oh, okay, so no, it was just like, it was Florence who died like that. It's like, again, it wasn't like as a fallen hero, you know? It was that, it was of pain, of agony, and despair. And what Peter is actually like feeling, it's like he feels helpless because his song or his opera or song, whatever it was, that Selena seemed moved by, it was the same one that had influenced a lot of other people to join, yet it's not like the glorious kind of tale or the happy kind of tale that's like it's made out to be. It's not as majestic. It's like in reality it's just like it's pain, there's sadness, there's regret, there's remorse, and all of that. That's basically what it is. It's like you start to see like what Peter really felt from that, and like what he kind of regrets talking about the opera he made because it possibly led people to the same fate that Florence went through. So yeah, I did actually take screenshots on my phone for that because, like I said, I couldn't actually see it this way. So yeah, decently, I've got good news. The play I've been writing has an important breakthrough. It happened because I obtained more information about you. Records from the abandoned space station. Chairman Allen had a long struggle with the Parliament in order to conduct an investigation and data collection at the space station. Never seen him looking this serious. The squad that eventually landed there retrieved the remains of the lost archaeological team. One of their memory banks miraculously preserved an audio file. There was your voice in that file. I heard the chat you two had in your song. Truth is, it took me a while to collect myself before writing this letter. I'm sorry, but I can't recall how I felt when I first heard it as I'm writing this. I felt hurt, and helpless, and angry. I could see them on Chairman Allen's face as well, who allowed me to listen to the clip. For a moment, I felt like you were there with me. Sure, that was pleasant and naive, Perhaps that sweetness was what allowed me to write this story down. Yet in the audio clip, there was only one voice. Your voice. You were talking to yourself. You told me that talking to oneself is an inevitable step in creation. Truth be told, that too was how I felt when I started writing. It is a peculiar experience. I thought I knew myself quite well, but as I started penning my character's actions, I began to realize so many parts of me that I have yet to explore. The ways I wanted the world to develop as I wrote them down. Do you also talk to yourself when you write? You ever been convinced, accused, or saved by your inner self? In the 3 years you slumbered in the space station, how many times you talked to yourself? And just in case, I'm having my phone ready in case I have to go through that kind of bullshit again. I'm hoping I don't, but I'm not keeping my hopes up. Well, blood and blades. An impressive battle it was, my brave comrades. But the fight is yet over, for our land is corrupted still, I'm afraid. So stand, stand! Behind you, your homeland you shall guard and defend. Skybound our homes intends. Stop us, this bitter earth shan't. The girl before them sings relentlessly showered in the orange-tinted light. Looks so lively in the dusk, focused on her like a spotlight, highlighting the only protagonist on the stage. Only when Selena approaches closer does she realize that the girl's frail body is slightly shaking. Flora's arms show small signs of infection, which must be excruciating for a child. She's relying on her willpower to perform for an empty audience. It's underground theater. Subterranean design has slowed down its deterioration, and the hidden entrance has shielded it from corrupted attacks. Even the stage is attacked. It also makes it difficult for those who search for it. Peter followed the track to this place only to be circling it outside, unable to pin down Flora's trail. By the time Selena discovered the underground structure and found the entrance by analyzing the architecture and the surroundings, it was already dusk. Then she argued with Peter for a while at the entrance. If we take her back by force, she's just gonna run away again in the future. Just give me a little time. A little is all I ask. Let me talk to her. She convinced Peter to stay at the entrance, entering the theater by herself. She has been watching the first half of the play of the girl's solo performance as the sole audience. As the girl finishes the segment, Selena steps forward. Selena steps onto the stage, speaking the familiar lines, the faint words that her younger self wrote. My dearest brother, a brave soldier, scars covered. Before my eyes he fell, the battlefield is blood-colored. Noticing the unexpected audience, a co-performer, Flora looks ecstatic. Beside him a noble officer, wounded and similar faded, according to the one first erased, but the blood-soaked man he lies, arms held, his lips pressing the scorched face. Flora tries her best to control her excitement and stay in character, taking a step towards Selena. Oh, come on! Are you serious? Please don't force me to do special actions. I'm not capable of that right now. Oh, okay, maybe I'm just gonna reenact the fight. I guess I should probably read this. About the blood-soaked man he lies, arms held, his lips pressing the scorched face. Slow down, dear spirit, was his plea. Away we'll fight. Weep where I am. Oh my god. Alright, let's just get the... Oh, okay, I'm fighting them. I thought I was fighting her. Okay. Oh, here we go. The Blood and Blades has long been a most familiar place. Lost count? I have. day since I first saw your slaughter some miles away. Standing here, your tally I finally know. Feet that no longer dance, faces that no longer kiss, arms that no longer hold. My heart trembles, my fear and dread insurmountable. You would hear me, gods, bury my cowardice as you bury my friends. Here I shall stay. My dying breath will guard this land.
展開部です。メヌエットの時間です。カデンサ、ご清聴ありがとうございました。
Look, do you see? There my comrades carried. There to ship the parts. Infinite is the love it holds. Eternal will the dreamers last. Away it sails, my hope it hails. Farewell, my friends, my family. Elysium bound you will be in the future days when you are free. Flora sits on the floor holding out a hand towards Selena. An invitation to dance is the same gesture the protagonist does before the curtain call. Flora holds on to her pose for a very long time, expression not shifting a bit. Does she not want the show to end? Selena wonders, thinking that there must be a stubbornness inside the girl that carries her across the barren desert to the ruins, forming over and over despite the pain from her infection. Selena must protect the heart so frail and resilient. Thinking that, Selena performs the same gesture. The two of them stand still. Standing still. Flora's quiet complaint makes Selena realize that Flora is not demonstrating her stubbornness. She predicts that all actors cannot move before the final bow. Right. This is the end of the Acadia evacuation. Thank you for watching. Selena mimics the motion of pulling the curtain down. Flora's tense body relaxes the imaginary curtain fall, and her somber expression turns to joy. That was great. I know I missed a lot of lines, but it felt so wonderful to perform a full act. Thank you, miss. You're my first audience. I have to offer you my gratitude. Her voice suddenly dwindles, and her young body falls. Selena manages to catch her before she faints and falls to the ground. Sordid breath, signs of infection, hunger, and cold. All of them take their toll on the moment the performance is completed. Selena manages to inject Flora with a serum in time, giving the girl water with her water skin. Flora, you need to rest. Yeah, I can rest now. Her voice was weak but so joyous. Then, miss, can you tell me how you feel about our performance together? Of course. Your performance was perfect. Thank you for doing it. Really? That's great. Do you think Mom will feel better after she sees it? A child can be more stubborn than an adult sometimes. Selena was ready for this small unyielding spirit. Actually, there's more to this story. Do you want to know how it truly ends? Think about an ending to the story, Flora's dull eyes glisten again. Trembling lips have not even opened, and Selena knows what her answer will be. Selena supports Flora's body with one hand and opens her terminal with another. Quietly, she tells Flora's story the way she did with the children in the conservation area. The real ending of the Acadia evacuation. This ending doesn't change any prior plot, but it completely alters the theme of the opera. The dying soldier who stayed on the surface gave the ones departing for Babylonia his blessing. For regretful or unregretful death and sacrifice, as well as hope for the future, he died as the opera ended. That was just a fantasy of those who lived. People from Babylonia were praising how noble the soldiers' sacrifice were, until they received the dying soldiers' messages, revealing how painful and regretful the soldiers felt. These feelings spread to those who saw the messages. Regrets and shame flooded their hearts, followed by indifference, a way to protect themselves. And that is it. That's the real ending? Flora mumbles, voicing her first thought. She's covered much with the serum and water, but she's still leaning Selena's arm. But why? I don't get it. I don't understand why the writer would think that way. Miss, do you know? Can you tell me? Of course. Perhaps she didn't think clearly when she published the first version of the opera. Perhaps she had been through something else that changed her mind, and she gave the story a new ending. Regardless of the plot, an author's intent will always reveal itself in the ending. A line from the ending can elevate the story, or it can make the story linger. Of course, an ending can also overturn it. Legends and spirits are such wonderful things, but not everyone can place them above their lives. The heroic sacrifice might not be the end. The hero might have cried, cursed, or regretted his choice. After all, the story is not the whole truth. Flora closes her eyes. She seems to be thinking, or perhaps she's simply too tired about to fall asleep. Regardless, Selena has to take her away now. As Selena's about to lift her up, however, she jumps from Selena's arms and stands. That's wrong. It's not right. My bad. I'm like trying to, but it's like, I just want to read it regularly, because, you know. Flora crouches, still trembling, picking up the paper booklet on the floor. Those the creased pages of the Acadia evacuation, most likely left behind by her father. The people who stayed behind would feel regretful and hateful. That's possible. That makes sense. But still. Writes down a few lines of the crumpled paper, turning what Selena said into dialogues. Then she adds a few more lines. Flora works fast. She started with words, but now she's filling the pages with childlike drawings and weird symbols. Probably sacred language the girl invented. Writing and drawing, she eventually holds up her script and narrates another new ending, after the new ending she just heard. The grandeur of the sacrifice is just a fantasy of those who lived. People from Babylonia were praising how noble the soldiers' sacrifices were. So they was. But the people up there do not ignore this pain. They remember their laments and turn to hand to the fuel that drives them forward. One after another, squads are sent to the surface from above. When the day of peace and liberation arrives, the returns stand before the soldier's grave, giving him the funeral he deserves. They say, "Farewell, my friends, family. Elysium bound you will be in the future days when you are free." Right, that's how it should be. People who got sent away one day will understand why the soldiers sacrificed themselves. They were fighting for the same cause, so that's how the ending should be. The child just recovered opens up the script with her shaking hands, unveiling the new ending to Selena. Selena, meanwhile, is taken aback. Is that the ending you think will come true? Come true? No, I don't think it is. I think it's the ending that would move me. That would move Dad. I know how the writer felt, but I get to decide how I interpret it. I just think that even with part of the ending dismissed, there must be more to it when the sacrifice was written so majestically. The stories before the ending made me feel that despite feeling powerless and hurt, the moment they stepped onto the battlefield, people who sacrificed themselves have received courage and hope. Passing on this courage and hope was why the writer wrote this opera in the first place. Isn't that enough to understand this? The truth might be too complicated. The writer might not understand everything when she wrote it. Prospero, Iris, Magic, none of them are real. I don't know why the writer wrote them this way. But they were nice. They were nice. Isn't that enough? Instead of an answer, Flora receives a hug. So I embrace her tightly. You're right. That was very well said. So close that Selena can hear Flora's heart beating in her chest. Same heartbeats as Selena's. Thank you. Why are you thanking me? Once again, Selena does not answer, only hold the floor even tighter. Thank you for rebutting me, reflecting sincerely. I knew you could do it. Thank you for saying what I couldn't say. Those words would be too powerless if they came from me. Your ideas will be carried into your work. One day they will also move someone else. And that's enough. Lust or hurt, this pureness of yours will guide you and guard you. Even when facing adversity, you will outlast the storm. If this war ends one day, you'll become an artist with admirable pursuit. I believe you can do it. And thank you, miss. What you say makes me believe that I bring Ron comfort. As she may be, Flora sits up and answers Selena. Peter watches from afar. He's supposed to take Flora back by now. Even with the serum, it's not a good idea for a child to stay somewhere where low concentration of the punishing virus. Instead, he just stays away from the state. Watch the two girls holding each other. So he doesn't notice this one audience. Hold on, I had to correct you on something, miss. My dad wouldn't have cried before he died. Imagination and freedom it offers, I hope it takes you beyond the Ferryman's River. That's Dan's favorite line. I'm sure he would have left behind this blessing as his last words. I'm sure of it. This line. Peter takes out his terminal. The message he received is a string of jumbled code after coordinates. Jumbled, however, doesn't mean unsolvable. Recovering data is a skill every soldier knows. But Peter didn't do it. When he saw those words, the gaze of death seemed to haunt him once again. He refused to look it in the eye. But now he operates on his terminal, untanglingly revealing those jumbled words once more. How could this be? So, backbone before you died, huh? Did my words really move you that much? The rookie who joined the army because the momentary urge never forgot about the sentiments that drove him even in the face of death. In pain, he chose to pass this aspiration to his comrade. The rookie didn't know that his comrade was the one who seeded this aspiration in his opera in the first place. And now, years later across time, it's returned to the hands of its author. And now his terminal, Peter lets out a few gravely chuckles. Looks up at the hugging girls on the stage. Sees two flowers blossoming. Art is their name, soul their soil. Two flowers are sprouted after being moved. The feeling was passed down from the great composer. To his hand, it spread throughout time. Not everything is perfect, nor is the journey smooth sailing. That flower is growing from his legacy. Now it blooms on the battlefield, the sky city, the crumbling stage before him, speaking the same line he said in haste in the past. That's the end of A Hero's Farewell. Thank you for watching. When Peter snaps awake, he finds his hands are clapping. He's forgotten this feeling for a very long time. All he can do now is cheer. Him clapping, the two girls on the stage finally notice their audience and they stand up slightly embarrassed. By the way, I still don't know your name. Can you tell me your name, young composer? My name? Flora tilts her head, confused as to why Selena is asking her this right now. Still gives Selena her answer. Selena. I'm Selena. Selena Florence. That's my name. Wait, what? I am so confused. What the hell is this? Songs of a Newborn. Dear Selena, I got another good news. My play is almost finished, ready for rehearsal. I've also got some bad news. Can't complete it yet. There's a haze before me, one I can't cross alone. Unlike the writer's block I had, the harder I tried this time, the more confused that path ahead was. So, I've asked Chairman Allen for help. Hope he can offer me some guidance. How would you feel if you had the chance to see this performance based on your story? What were you thinking when you took that probe before the Grey Raven Commandant? Were you thinking about what you used to say to your mom? Wait, what? What probe? Sacrifices shouldn't just inflict pain. They should inspire bravery. Evoke hope or the calm after the storm. Slaya Florence, my dear friend. Tell me, please. Answer me. Answer me with your beautiful voice and sing. I am so confused here. What the hell is this? Yours, Isla. Earth to Isla. I'm sorry. The expansive opera hall, one gentleman sits alone, listening to her going through the script in her hand. That's alright. You finished the whole thing. I'm still appreciating the aftertaste. I'm just curious why you kept staring at those letters on the side every time you were done with a scene. Letters. Not very common nowadays, aren't they? Are they your source of inspiration? Not that they aren't, but perhaps I should say they're what the play is based on? Oh, an autobiography. I should keep my curiosity in check then. Anyway, I suppose you're looking forward to what I have to say about your play. Well, bravo. Remarkable work for someone new to the art form. A young opera composer meets a group of art-loving kindred spirits on her way to search for a girl, ending up saved by her past self. Journeys of self-discovery aren't uncommon in operas, but it's refreshing to see yours presented this way. Only you can come up with ideas like this, Isla. Sure, your writing on the children might be a little too assuming, but that's nothing new for young writers. Probably just your instinct when you were writing. You didn't realize it. Mark it down and make sure you don't make the same mistake when you go through your draft again. Thanks, Chairman, but you must know that I'm not looking for simple comments like that. Changes on the script, huh? Don't worry. I more or less got that when you were reading your script. But before I say anything, I must ask you if that's all you want, Isla. You asked me to listen to your new play just to get my suggestions on changes to make. Of course not. Something else I want to tell you. The person's lying in her chamber, her hands crossing and resting above her abdomen. Her eyes are lightly shut, the corners of her lips slightly raised, long hair draping to her sides. Ella tries to call her by her name. She knows that person's not here now. No matter how many times I've seen it, the Capritia frame still impresses me with its intricacy. It's only here they see your push and design. Did you bring it here because you have a new idea for that coating? Nothing that complicated, Chairman. She's here just because... That looks nonchalant, but her voice is slightly shaking, and her words are stuck in her throat. I just wanted her to be able to see this. Alright, relax. Let's change the subject. Chuckling, Alan makes a few spins with his cane before standing up from his seat, walking toward the stage. People in the saloon have been talking about you. They said you kept working late in your studio without sleeping. They don't really see you that often anymore. They said it wasn't like you. But I think you've just been focusing all your infectious passions on one thing. That thing being the Song of Flowers you just read, isn't it? It is. Isla turns toward the frame by his side again. Hal's face reflects on the glass of the chamber. It's a face of affection and regret. You heard of whale songs? You got me there. I once took a probe and stayed by the shore for a few weeks. I was almost frozen to death, but I heard nothing. Another wild thing you've done for art there, Chairman. But that's not what I meant. Al takes out a remote and opens her portable studio terminal. There's a soft aria. Alan, with all he's seen and done, is slightly taken aback when he first hears it. The tone ebbs and flows as it rises higher. It's like a vast ocean seems to appear before his very eyes. The female singer is not imitating the sound of a real whale, but she conveys the same expression in the melody. A lonely blue whale is swinging its tail fin and cruising in the sea. Again and again it sings, its song echoing throughout the ocean depths, but there's no response. It's even stopped. The song is no end, and the lonely blue whale did not find its kind. Practice number 654, her unfinished aria. That's right, the one I have is incomplete. She said that she hadn't thought of an ending yet because she hadn't seen the ocean with her own eyes. She'd write the second half after she'd seen the real ocean. Just like this. Ella clears her throat and holds up her arms, slightly singing with a gentle voice. The tone also rises, but the direction of the whale is heading has changed. I was not a skilled singer, but even her simple delivery has revealed to Alan the meaning behind the melody. The lonely blue whale is heading deeper into the ocean. It's still singing, and its voice would have formed a cage around it as it echoes more frequently in the narrow trench. The cage never forms. Instead, the further it dives into the trench, the more faded its voice is. It's like nowhere to be found. Almost as if the whale is not diving to the ocean trench but a broader universe. No longer find its tribe, its kind, or even life. And the whale is eventually torn apart by the gravity of the void. Its voice gradually fades until its last wail is silent. Do you still remember Operation Red Tide, Chairman? I do. That was her. Alan doesn't finish. No one wants to be reminded how it ended. Alan doesn't continue a sentence as well. She keeps on going. During that operation, a scout from Strikehawk recorded the song from the Corrupted, Siren, in order to compare it with our data. A long time after that, Babylonia's sonar detected a surprising recording, and the checking its sound wave closely resembles Siren's song. A friend from the task force once told me about it. I pulled some strings hoping to get a hold of the recording. What I got was an audio file with white noise and distorted sounds. But I had a feeling I know who sang that response. I prepared the audio file, to skill every member of the archaeological team knows. This song was what it ended up being. She says that Ella holds up her remote to her ear so she can hear the whale song again. People from the Science Council told me it's impossible to detect or trace the source. For one thing, sonic waves decay, causing discrepancies in tracking. Our radar can only point in a general location. Secondly, it took time for the song to reach us. By the time we received the file, the singer could be long gone. We can't trace it, but I can't help but wonder who the singer might be. Did our receiver mistake white noise for a whale song? Is it an unknown machine playing music randomly? Or is it a lament from a lonely blue whale left behind on Earth? The technicians gave me different theories, but I only believed in one of them. That was her signal. That was her whale song. I'll pause again, looking at the sleeper frame beside her. There's a metallic iris blooming from the frame's chest, adornment of her performance. You might be wondering why I pushed for the development of this frame. It's because I wanted the whale song to continue. I want to use that song from Earth to make sure her voice doesn't end. Ella turns on her terminal again, revealing a map before Alan. Several circles dotted the map like seeds spread onto the earth. Whenever we located an area where her whale song appeared, I would imagine what she experienced when she traveled there. Did she meet someone kind or dangerous? Did she encounter threatening tempests? Did she see the turfy mountains where the sheep nibbled, the banks were pined and twirled brims, the rainbow across the sky after the tempests? I pulled all these imaginations and sceneries along her journey within the Caprizio frame. But the people in my story walks the same path and meets the same people as the Wanderer on the surface. Then when she comes back, she'll know that there has always been another whale song for Caprizio following her. She'll know that someone out there in the stars has been humming her whale song, wishing her the best on the planet she loves so much. In the years to come, she'll realize her journey wasn't alone when she looks back. She might chuckle, tease me about how the character arcs in my story are wrong, or I modify her frame together. I couldn't save her a few years ago. I can't find the whereabouts of that whale song now. The least I can do is give her a pleasant future. She gave me a soul with her Hamlet. This fragment of her soul has comforted me, so I must repay that kindness. So you decided to write a story based on her past, didn't you? You visited a few people who knew her during your time away from the saloon. I guess that when you came to me with all your questions a few days ago. Nothing gets past you, Chairman. Her mind is so alive. To recover her work, I had to find others to talk about what she was thinking back then. I was just surprised to find that commanded to be one of the people who knew her well. Oh, that's a secret. You didn't hear that. Regardless, I thought I knew her, but knowing the journey she's traveled now, I just want to hold her and tell her how I feel. I want to tell her that the data she wanted to visit on the surface has a replica here in Babylonia. I want to tell her that the opera she wrote is still well loved. Many people longing for the day it appears on the stage again. Still the pride of her mother and me. I want to tell her how many people are listening to the opera she recovered. I want to tell her that the song she sang in that lonely space station has been found. I want to tell her I saw her pain and her strength. I saw her spirit quaking inside the tempest, bent but not broken. She wasn't here. What else can I do? I had to put them into the story. I started writing Song of Flowers when the signal to Whale Song started heading toward the ruins of the Great Evacuation Site. I came up with a story based on what happened when she was young, using Conservation Area 184 as a stage. This time I let her become a character in her own story as well. I mix in a lot of different ideas and settings, but most of the characters in the story have real-life counterparts. The things will be changed for the performance, obviously. Counterparts. I guess the most obvious one was her father, Mr. Florence. He was a legend in WGAA. A person in high places, he joined the fight after being inspired by art until his honorable death on the field. What happened to him might have greatly affected his daughter, but it took a much bigger toll on his wife. Miss Florence spent a lot of time in counseling. Her illness possibly originated from her survivor's guilt. Compound that with losing her husband and having to care for her child, she turned away from operas. She did become very repressed during that period of time. When Mrs. Florence stopped visiting counselors one day, was still recovering pretty well afterward. The first time I saw her, she was with someone accepting, and her daughter was singing a lullaby with her. There was only love in her gaze. She worked hard for all of it. She talked to her mother for a very long time after that. I don't know what she said that changed her mother's mind, but she was allowed to study operas after that. One day she ran away to this very theater. When her mother found her, she was performing Mr. Florence's last work as a one-person performance. It wasn't the first time she ran away. It was the only time she had the courage and the words to face her mother's pain. She said it was thanks to someone who found her performing alone during one of her escapes and offered her guidance. I don't know who he or she was, but that person could see this performance. I hope the story will serve as my thanks. I'm sure that person would see it if fate allows. Right. Another person on which I based one of my characters is Mr. Peter. I'm sure you've guessed it already. Even with all the talented people I've seen, he's still second to none. The operas he wrote have inspired many writers in WGAA, including her. I was surprised to find a famous playwright from the Golden Age buried in the army. Wait, no. He stressed to me quite a few times that he wasn't buried. This was his choice. It took me some effort to find him and tell him this story. He agreed to help me with my script at the St. Selena's. Couldn't have finished this without his help. And Peter was one of the reasons why you came to me when your script was still unpolished, right? I've been like a fair rabbit jumping around since Alan came here to listen to her story. She moves from topic to topic, and he has acted like a patient guide, following and responding, but never stopping her in any way. But now the guide has stepped ahead of the rabbit and planted a fence before her, stopping her from revealing her past. I can't hide anything from you, can I? I didn't want to mention it. Artist's eyes are sharp. You're quite insightful yourself. But then it wasn't hard to tell. I thought she was the protagonist of the story in the beginning, but there was a lack of her self-reflection in it. On the other hand, Peter's role was very much highlighted. It wasn't a wrong arrangement per se, but it didn't feel like what a new writer like you would do. True, it wasn't my style, but I charged toward it blindly. I didn't think I'd feel this way, but the first time I tried to write a story like that, I was drowned in that feeling. She would have called it... Hala raises her hand very tentatively, seemingly trying to pluck the right word from her mind. Or perhaps she's found a word, but she's hesitant to say it. Lost. Right. Lost in the paints of my brushstrokes, in the words of my lines. They melt away from my canvas and fall from my script, traveling along my brush toward my arm, coagulating on my hand. Not that I never struggled to pick up my pen, but I never thought I would be a stranger to my canvas and my script. I can't even imagine what this painting and display will look like when it's complete. I wondered many times what happened to her on the premiere of the Arcadia evacuation that put her on the battlefield. In the end, I attributed it to pride. That's my guess. Was that the truth? Stories and their insights. Have I understood them? Or have I twisted them so that I get the ending I wanted? Every time I step before my canvas, my head is filled with all these doubts. I started to lose sight of what her character would think in my story, so I avoided writing what she thought. I just had her push the plot forward blindly. I wanted to ask Mr. Peter for help, but I just found that his transmission was lost near a conservation area. It was Conservation Area 184 near the evacuation site, where the whale song was last heard. I was even more lost after I heard the news. To be honest, I haven't made any changes since I wrote this ending. I've been trapped by this feeling for days. I can't take this motionlessness anymore. All my muses will be gone if I don't talk to somebody. So say something, Chairman. I'm sick of drowning in this still water. With that, the rabbit stops, standing still on the stage, reaching out for Alan, asking her guide to point her in the right direction. Alan already has an answer. Then let me answer you with the scenes from your story. Neither Flora, her father, Peter, nor she was aware of the whole truth in your story. But they weren't motivated by truth. They each set off on their path because they were inspired when they were moved by the stories they heard. Stories written by someone else. That was their motivation. That was what drove their actions. Am I right? That was why you started writing this story, wasn't it? You visited the people she knew to learn about her story. If I guessed correctly, you memorized every event and analyzed her character at each point in time. You walked her path and you looked into her bountiful heart. You know what kind of pressure made her lose her way, and you know how she held on when she was lost. You said you had her push the plot forward blindly? No. You've made her come to life. If this is just a story with a happy ending, then it would have ended with the two Cossacks entering the theater and saving Flora. But you had Flora opposing her future self, inspiring and freeing each other. I think she would have chosen the same if she saw her past self as well. Perhaps a story where a person's past and future selves meet won't happen in real life. You've given each of your characters a soul. They've all expressed themselves to the fullest. Maybe you didn't create her completely, but then you know full well what the complete her doesn't belong in a story. This is enough. I think you can express how you feel, that is enough. I think she would say the same if she were here. You already created the work you wanted to make, Isla. Is that so? Please excuse me for a second, Chairman. Of course. Excuse me is not just because Isla needs to stop the conversation. She also needs to create the right environment. Isla waves her hands and the lights of the theater turn off on her command one by one. Turn dispense from the audience to the stage, stopping at a ray of light. Stands in the middle of the spotlight as if she's the source of the light. She's always good at turning strange environments into her working space. But now the single ray of the spotlight in the dark has provided her a small studio for her to think. She'd probably feel too embarrassed to do this if someone else was in the audience. Some darkness can be, after all, quite uncomfortable. But I don't seem to be used to Isla doing this by now. Looks pleased instead of dismayed as he watches the rabbit standing inside the spotlight. Isla doesn't focus on the dark. She follows the slowly unveiling stars and turns her gaze to the window walls of the theater. The whole window of stars fills her eyes. Once, Isla would see that starry night and find it boring. The stars are so far away, only one can actually reach her, and who knows how long its light started traveling. The stars burn themselves so brightly, casting their photons into space in all directions. The photons travel far and long, sailing forward in the cold for ages until they hit a surface and printing the brief image of their stars before getting reflected and scattered. By then, the stars might have already been burnt out and died. The stars have expected a response for their light. Is a response even possible? Right now, looking at the countless only stars out there, Alice only feels a sense of gratitude. Like them, the light she casts is so much closer to her, almost unreachable. But reachable. That light is cast on the blue planet below her, and she's gently singing. Alice created this story, focuses all her inspiration and gives life to the girl in her story. Alice's starlight and her longing have been cast on Earth. One day they'll reach the girl. How long will it take? A day? Month? Years? Well, it doesn't know. Light doesn't have to travel light years, but it has to traverse uncertainty. Think about that, other bases are hands. Studio Terminal awakens once more, opening a holographic display before it under her commands. Inside, a photo of a smiling girl standing among bushes of flowers appears before Anna. Says the girl's name in a daze. The girl among the flowers smiles at Isla, the same way the girl smiled when she left Isla. This is an imprint at the moment before the girl left. It takes its light and reflects it back to Earth. What would a slow walking, quiet humming star see your light? That happens. These two stars that have illuminated each other look the same. The distance of time, is it? Right. It is a shame then, but even lost civilizations leave behind traces. They would have a long time to appreciate the marks we left behind. As long as we keep looking, the light of our art still travels across the universe. That one day we'll meet. For a second, the lines Isla wrote echo within her. Why? She wrote those words, but why does she only understand them now? The gaze that travels between the display and the starry night lands on a sleeping girl in the chamber unintentionally. Of course. Because I didn't write them all by myself. The girl's quiet smile is giving Isla the answer. That line was not entirely Isla's work. They were the girl's words running through Isla from her memory. His fingers linger on the terminal, touching her painting. Every moment there, her hand seems to travel through the canvas and reaches the fields of flowers thousands of miles away. She cannot tell how far it is. It sure keeps shining until her light reaches the girl's eyes. As long as men can breathe or eyes can see, so long lives this, and this gives life to thee. I takes a deep breath again, raising her hand. Thank you, Chairman. I'm feeling much better. That's the smile I'm hoping for. You're back? How did the folks in the saloon say it? This is the smile of the blunt, unclouded Isla who put all of herself on her canvas. No way. Your imitation is perfect. I'll visit the saloon after I'm done polishing the script. Please send them my regards when you visit them. Of course. Well, I still have another problem to consider. How should I do the background story? Maybe I could put it online so the audience can read them for free? Hold on. I got it. Need to do it more cleverly. Idea just hit me, Chairman. I've gotta go. Seeing the rabbit-like figure leaving, Alan turns his gaze back to the stage. There was also a girl performing alone on that stage in an empty theater many years ago. The first opera that girl composed premiered on that stage a few years ago. Stood alone against the tempest with a standing ovation as a backdrop. The Spirit played a recitative on that stage to the magic of theater a few days ago. Every musical night soon premiere on that stage in a few months. This time I'll tell the story of another girl's longing. Wasn't planning to be nostalgic now. Young Selena. When I met her here, I wasn't that mature about her either. My comments barely held water. I didn't expect it would inspire her. For a moment, Al ceased to find himself back in the field of flowers years ago. And he was also like a rabbit running on the field unrestricted, followed by a gentle guide who watches him in a similar gaze to his now. Seeds planted unexpectedly and now I'm going into an ocean of flowers. I wonder what you would think when you see them after you set me on this path, Mr. Florence. Okay, interesting. I don't know why they put the eerie music at the end, but I see. So that's what this whole thing was. It was a story kind of like trying to like cement her past and present. I see. Alright, at least I have a better understanding of it now. Because I was going to say, it's like, there's no way she's actively actually taking part in this. I was like, she never actually used the Caprizio frame yet by that point. She was still in the Tempest frame. But I see. Now it all becomes clear. But still, that whole chain thing with all of them is pretty interesting, at least. I will say it did kind of like throw me in for a loop for a while, but as I started to glean at those letters a bit more, I was starting to be like, maybe this isn't actually real, or maybe it's not the right time or something, but yeah, it's letters that she didn't send, because it's like, I know sometimes it's like you want to at least write out something to someone, but you don't know if they'll actually be able to respond or hear it, or if they'll respond the way you want to. It's like I've heard of people writing letters but never actually sending them. Okay, that took longer than I thought, but we did it. Unfortunately, that whole thing with me having to do that shit 3 times and then having to do it on my phone was the main reason for that. So we'll see how far we can get with one. I hope I can finish one more, but I feel like it's too soon to end the stream because literally I've only done one character story and then one part of another one. Let's see, so who should I do next? I probably should do the Vera Garner one, right? Because it's like, I did already finish that story a while back. But then again, I kind of want to do Bianca. Now, you know what? Fuck it. Since I just did the Bianca one, I'll just go through it Lost fairly. Yeah, fuck it. I'll just do this. City 173, outside the Holy Church, November 3rd, 10:29 a.m. Hey, Loft. You on patrol duty today? What are you looking at outside the church? Oh, hi, Toby. Yeah, I got thrown all the patrol missions ever since you took time off to nurse your injuries. Wow, sorry for the extra work. Here, send it for your hard work. Toby throws a pack of MRE rations in Loft. Oh, come off it, you. Those provisions for the church. You got me. That old man Kaif. Always asking you to help out with deliveries. It's fine when you were healthy. How can your wounds heal now? Nah, I just treat it as rehabilitation. Enough about me. Remember, today's not a holy day. Why's the church so noisy? It's been like that ever since that sister came to this church. None? Yeah, Army Yakuza of Snowplane stopped by a while ago. Left a sister here and continued down south with the other survivors. Oh, I remember them. Their leader looked tough. One of my arrows are fastened in his blades. Having said that, Toby raised his left arm to chest level with a supply crate in hand, began drawing motion with his right hand, aiming for a point beyond the horizon, and began the sounds of shooting arrows himself. Can't you just take it easy for a day? How can I protect you all if I don't train constantly? Alright, let me continue. That sister. I think she's called Bianca. Bianca? I've been hearing that name quite a lot recently. Toby stops making shooting motion and recalls some recent conversations he had over her. Did you hear? That newcomer got into quite a lot of trouble and everyone was afraid of her, so she got abandoned here at our church. I heard she killed the father who raised her up. Oh my lord. I can't believe a church raised a sister like that. No, more like a witch. She didn't even deny it when asked. She's definitely guilty, you ask me. Someone's coming over. There have been disappearances more and more lately. Even the homeless old man's gone. Speaking of him, I remember seeing him with that new sister from the church before. You don't think. I think you're on to something here. Come to think of it, we started seeing more people going missing after that Bianca came here. Then it must have been her. We should chase her out of town and then we'll be safe. I know, right? It's so obvious, but the soldiers are still doing nothing. Why are we paying taxes to feed those slackers? Who in their right mind would want to become a soldier anyway, and not for the current situation? Except for Toby. That kid's an exception. Yeah, good kids like him are rare to come by nowadays. She's coming over. Let's go. I heard she killed the father who raised her on the snow plains. Saying this so nonchalantly. Toby's pulled back to reality by Loft's voice. Following Loft's gaze, he sees a blonde girl sitting in a corner all by herself. Yeah, but I think she's just misunderstood. She may look cold, but I don't think she's a bad person. Only you would think that. Toby waves at Bianca passionately, catching the attention of those in the church. Well, time for guard duty, so I'll see you later. No, I suggest you keep your distance from her. Toby could reply, the crowd that was cut side of Toby swarmed over. Good afternoon, Father Leon. Is the provisions for this week? The spy crate opens up on all 4 sides, revealing the supplies inside. Thank you, Toby. Mr. Kaif's been lazy again, but I heard you were recovering from your injuries. Why are you out here working? They're pretty much healed up already, but thanks for asking, Father. Long time no see, Toby. Heard you got hurt in the last battle. You got us worried sick. I'm fine, I'm fine. It's but a scratch. Look, I'm healthy as a horse. He runs his fingers through his brilliant blonde hair, what his right hand reaches for his bow on his back, then poses in a way which he thought looks cool, because the bystanders laugh, consequently lifting the mood. We're all happy that you recovered. Alright, I shan't hold you up. Come, this is a supply crate for everyone. Father claps his hands and the people gathered around Toby swiftly form a line. Everyone prays in front of the supply crate before taking their own share. The process proceeds without a hitch. Toby notices that Bianca stood at the end of the line the whole time with no intention to come forward or claim supplies. So he takes out a supply pack from the crate and heads over to Bianca. Hey there, you feeling unwell? Here's your share of the provisions. Also, here's a flower for a lovely lady like you. No, thank you. No, I do appreciate the thought. What? But you'll starve. That... Before Toby can finish his sentence, the woman inserts herself between them, putting a stop to the conversation. Toby, don't mind her. She says she doesn't need it, so just leave her. You, where are your manners? Yeah, come over here, Toby. Don't mind her. What? It's fine. Sorry about her, Toby. She's always like this. You just stay away from her. Oh, right. Heard there have been disappearances nearby here lately, too. It's getting more and more worrisome. You should be careful, too. Everyone's attention on Toby cannot continue his conversation with Bianca, as he addresses the crowd. Don't worry. I'll protect each and every one of you. It's my duty as a soldier, after all. Interesting. Alright, so this is from after she left the church, after everything that happened there. Okay. City 173 Holy Church, November 13th, 9:41 a.m. It's been 10 days since Toby's last delivery of supplies, and air of unease is spread throughout the church. We haven't seen Toby ever since his last delivery here. I saw Olaf asking the father something with a grave expression a few days ago. Toby has been back home too for the past 10 days. Oh no, did Toby disappear too? The army hasn't been in battle with the corrupted recently, so... It's as they say, people who come in contact with the witch will... She's coming over. Let's go, or else we'll be the next ones missing. City 173 corridor inside the Holy Church, December 21st, 11:47 p.m. The quiet of the night is shattered by a series of footsteps reverberating through the empty corridor. Moonlight pierces through the stained glass windows, painting the walls with a spectrum of dancing shadows. Under the dim light, a head of gold in the face of sorrow can be seen. Restlessness has been spreading throughout the city. People are scared. They're doubting. Those who have disappeared, are they still safe? Father, I do not know how to proceed. What should I do? Where should I go? Father? Bianca mumbles by the window. The sudden sound echoes from the church hall, sounding even more out of place in these empty hallways at night. But it's like, why does she stay? Or more like, why do these people still let her stay? I kind of had to wonder, right? It's like she has to be contributing something, or they must have gotten something in order to keep her here. Then who could it have been? She asks without a second thought, but only receives silence as a reply. In front of Bianca is the door leading to the hall, which had been opened slightly by someone. After a few moments of thinking, she quietly pushes open the door. With the help of a dim moonlight, Bianca is able to make out a black-cladded figure in long robes kneeling in front of the statue of God as if they're praying. Bianca sticks close to the wall, careful to conceal her presence as she inches closer to the black-clad man. A sharp sound of glass breaking rings under her feet as she walks past the stained glass windows. What puzzled Bianca was that the noise did not alert the black-clad man. She peers out from behind the bench to see the man still praying in front of the statue as if nothing happened at all. After a moment of hesitation, Bianca calms herself and makes her way toward the man once more. As the distance shorter, Bianca sees the man's robes are tattered. He has a head of dazzling blonde hair, and in front of him is a very similar long bow. Mr. Toby? I heard you went missing a while back. Everyone will be thrilled to see you're fine. because I was gonna say, it's like, can she even be sure he's still alive? Oh, no, never mind. The black-clad man finally finishes his prayers. His body swayed under the moonlight, so he opens his mouth to speak while still kneeling. Judging from your voice, you're Miss Bianca, right? I'm sorry for entering you without permission. You really are a nice person despite what they ever say. Sorry for coming at this hour, but I have a small request. Turns around to reveal that he is indeed Toby, but at the same time, Bianca could see blood-red electric currents course through his body. It's a familiar sight, one that Bianca's seen hundreds of times. Signs of punishing corruption. How could this be? You're infected? But if humans are infected, though? Toby tries to comfort Bianca with a strange smile. They'll die. But I feel that I'm not quite human now. Something probably happened when I disappeared, but I don't remember anymore. Come on, smile. I don't know how to react when people put on that expression. I'm sorry. Don't apologize as well. I don't know how to deal with those too. I'm sorry. You must be in pain. Hearing Bianca say that, Toby hesitates for a moment. Hesitation is soon replaced with a relieved smile. Toby wanted to comfort Bianca, but he was only able to stand for a second before crashing to the ground. He was already too weak to support his own weight. Toby, what's wrong? I don't have much time left. Could you do me a favor? I heard the rumors, but I believe Bianca isn't that kind of person. Please pick up that bow. Toby, I can't remember what's happened. When I woke up, I already found myself in this church. Must have been God's will. The last moment of my life. Me. Toby. It's too late. No. Please, accept my bold request. Thank you, Bianca. Oh wow, she even moves slower because she's carrying him. Okay, that's a good detail. Wait, so is it that it actually has been her? No, wait, actually, no, because she's making it sound like this is the first time something like this has happened. I think. Oh, so maybe it's like it has been happening, but it hasn't been her that's doing it. Okay. Well, maybe. The battle quickly finished. Peace returns to the church. Toby's struggling to get on his feet. Blood keeps coming out of his wounds, but he's still smiling. What's with your body? Something different is happening to me. If only I could die easily like others. Please. I'm still myself. Sorry to trouble you, Miss Bianca. Don't apologize. It's my bad. I couldn't save you. No, you did. Maybe you've also saved others. Without you, I could have hurt someone. Sorry. I'm glad that I met you in the end. I feel relieved. After finishing the last line, Toby's legs can no longer hold him up. He falls into his own blood and calmly closes his eyes under the moon. A lily flower slips out of his arms and falls to the ground, soaked in the red liquid. Toby's last words still linger in her mind. His cold body reminds her of reality. Why do you all trust me so much? Father, and you? You talked about redemption and relief, but you're all dead. How can this be redemption? Bianca's thoughts are interrupted by the sudden screaming. Looks over and sees an unexpected guest at the front door. Terrified sister rushes out, leaving no chance for Bianca to get close. Soon, many voices can be heard from all directions. Daedalus. In the church devoured by the shadows of the night, all that could be heard was weeping, screaming, and scolding. In the midst of the chaos is the bloodstained Bianca standing in front of the statue of God. She's the witch! She's the one who killed Toby! It really is because of her. All those who disappeared, they're all probably... No, Silence, you murderer! Toby. I watched Toby grow up. He was always so optimistic and kind. Now his future's ruined all because of you. Why did you do it? Why him? Is that how you treat someone who's helped you before? You gonna treat us like that too? Some weep around Toby's body while others stay strong and comfort the others with tears in their own eyes. Stay away, you devil. The angry mom no longer gains satisfaction from purely throwing insults at Bianca, resorts to throwing anything they can get their hands on. Get out of here. Out of our city. Demons like you aren't welcomed here. Someone from the angry mom comes forward and slaps Bianca with all his might. He's about to give her a second slap before someone stops him. Get out of the way. Let me avenge Toby. Leave. You contaminated this holy ground with your bloody ways, sister. From this moment onward, you no longer represent this church. Bianca's pushed out of the hall by the crowd, staggering for a few steps before regaining her footing. She ignores all the insults and things thrown at her, clasps her hands in front of her chest, and slowly bounds toward the church. Soon after, she turns to leave, running forward and disappearing into the night. City 173 Main Street, 8:30 a.m. It's been way more peaceful ever since that witch left. Father Leon's too merciful, in my opinion. We should have had her executed there on the spot. Who knows what disaster she's bringing to people elsewhere now. She's lucky she's got away. If she ever comes back, I'll stop her myself. Bianca in rags creeps out from the shadows as the three angry citizens left. She quickly staggers through the main street, but quickens her pace when she hears another conversation taking place nearby, dodging through an alley on the other side. Bianca let out her breath after confirming that people talking had passed by. Did I do the right thing? How pitiful. Who's there? Bianca cautiously looks for the owner of the voice in the depths of the alley. The speaker never meant to conceal himself and slowly walks out of the shadows. Allow me to introduce myself. I am Wen, the chairman of Daedalus. Oh, no, yeah, I did see him before, too. Damn it, where did I see him before? Was it actually in that chapter with Bianca and Chico, I think? Like in a memory or something? I think it actually was. Just like that he was the chairman of Daedalus and that Bianca was working for him, but that's all. At least I think. When he's dressed in a sleek black suit, holds a frail to frail Bianca and extends his right hand. Relax, I come in peace. I'm just a normal businessman. Bianca does lower her guard and refuses to shake one's hand. One doesn't take offense of her actions, instead he stands up smiling and turns to face the direction of the distant church. How foolish the mortals. They cannot understand the saint. They betray the saint, kill the saint, yet the saint still loves the mortals no less. Bianca, sacrifice is necessary in order to save the masses. No need to be surprised. I know all that happens in this city. Nay, in this whole area. Never can escape me as long as I desire to know. This is my card. My company provides one thing for the people and one thing only. Safety. One produces a silver card from his jacket's inner pocket and hands it over to Bianca. As soon as Bianca takes the card, information about Daedalus is projected into the air. As you can see, my company is mainly responsible for the extermination of people who have been infected with the virus in order to protect others. Not just in this city, but all the cities from Kuz of Snowplain to the south are under my protection. Snowplain, you made the correct decision when dealing with Father Snow. If the corrupted outside are the enemy, then those who possess a risk like Toby and Snow are hidden liabilities. What we do is the salvation of the world. We find the helpless infected who may turn to a threat at any moment, and we relieve them of the suffering, which in turn guarantees the safety of others. This is the right decision made to save more people. It's also an act of justice in order to achieve social stability, just like what you've been doing all this time. All the choices I've made, they're all correct? That's right. Wen extends his right hand once more toward Bianca. You have talent. Join us, and I'll make sure you will see the power you're worthy of. Let us save this world on the brink of death together with that power. And that is also our responsibility, is it not? City 173 Daedalus, 5:47 p.m. One step forward. Turn. Very good. You're adapting well. Thank you. Sit. I do. As Bianca was about to sit, she suddenly feels Wen's cane pressing against her back. Etiquette. Of course. Bianca immediately straightens her posture. Not bad. You learn fast. But Mr. Wen, what use is etiquette when I'm doing my job? You may have power, but etiquette is a habit and restraint. It is also a warning to oneself, allowing us to remember our identity and the responsibility we carry. You'll understand eventually. That will be all for today. Thank you, Mr. Wen. I look forward to seeing you again tomorrow. Bianca stands up and curtsies to Ren, then turns to leave the room, and stares at her back as she leaves while stroking a cane in his hand. I don't know. I don't know if I can completely trust the guy. I mean, to be fair, it's like, it is understandable, because like, even Bianca's kind of confused, because it's like, she's still killing someone at the end of the day, but it's like, they're corrupted, so it's hard to say. But then again, it's like, we're not really reaching a conclusion as to like, what turned him into a construct, because again, it's like, Toby did look normal. So it's like, what the hell happened to him? Wonder if that would be covered here. Maybe not. City 177, Prague Estate, 11:50 p.m. Oh, okay, never mind. Yeah, I guess we're just skipping that. I guess that's just their own mystery to solve. Extravagant crowd gathers in the estate's great hall, losing themselves in the fine wine and relaxing music. Bianca stands alone by the French windows with a wine glass in hand, looking out at the faraway scenery. What's a fine lady like you doing here all alone and not socializing with others? Huh? What was that about? Good evening, Mr. Bale. Bianca curtsies to the man who initiated the conversation. No need for such formalities. I'm the one who disturbed you. Though I am surprised that you knew my name. No one in this city wouldn't know you, Mr. Bale, from the Electric Bureau. I am Bianca, and it is an honor to be talking to you. Bianca? A beautiful name for a beautiful lady. Thank you. The night's still young and your glass is empty. That won't do. Waiter. Sir, the 1790 jewels you requested. Without satisfaction, he takes the glasses from the butler. Looks over briefly at Bianca as he turns around, but he couldn't find the admiration he had expected to receive. Miss Bianca, care for a drink? He's a bit annoyed inside, but still puts on a good show and extends a glass toward Bianca. He's interrupted before Bianca takes the glass from him by an incoming call, rendering him suddenly embarrassed. Sorry, please excuse me. Please don't mind me. An unknown caller. Clearly annoyed, Bale takes the call. Bianca smiles and curtsies once more before turning around, leaving Bale furiously yelling at the caller on the other end. City 171, Prague Estate Roof, 11:57. Bianca left the Great Hall and arrives at the roof. Takes out the small communicator device in her ear as she walks. The screen device shows unknown caller ID. successfully copied Bale's identity data, commencing hacking into City 171's power grid. Bianca takes out a small mechanical device and quickly taps away on the screen. Done. As soon as Bianca said that, the area around the Prague Bell Tower suddenly plunges into darkness. She walks to the edge of the roof and pulls a weapon box out of the shadows to get a bow and arrow after entering the password. She focuses her attention on the blacked out area. In line of sight is a Cossack soldier who's currently loitering in the Clock Tower Plaza. The other people in the plaza are all startled by the sudden power failure to notice the Cossack soldier's twisted expression and a faint red electric glow on him. The soldier slowly takes out the service pistol from his belt and points out the innocent civilians that he was supposed to protect. Just as he was about to pull the trigger, an arrow flies through the air from far away. The clock strikes 12. The statues of the 12 apostles appear beside a large clock as the statue of death slowly rings the bell. Bianca sheaves her bow, knowing that the corrupted consort can no longer hurt the innocent. I can see you becoming more stable in the past few missions. It is all thanks to you, Mr. Wen. Keep up the good work. Yes, sir. The two of them continue to chat. It was long before Daedalus' transport craft arrives to pick Bianca. Alright, go do your job. I will. After saying that, Bianca leaves for the roof and into the craft. City 178 Seaside Port. Fuck. How the bloody wench is so strong? Joey, help me reload. Joey? Stop yelling. Joey's already dead from the blast just now. I don't want to die yet. I don't want to die. Where the hell's the boss's port? We're all dead meat and he still don't come. Look, it's the company's transport craft. I see it. Hey, you little... Don't suddenly stand up like that. Yeah. Only one aircraft. That means... The transport craft soars past the soldiers and speeds toward the corrupted stronghold. As they approaches the stronghold, the door is open, followed by a few laser beams directed at the enemy camp. Silence claimed the whole area after a few minutes. Bianca slowly stores out an enemy stronghold. Some cleanup staff in black passed through in between the two stunned soldiers heading over toward Bianca's. Thank you for your hard work, miss. I leave the rest to you. Bianca only noticed the two soldiers then, so she bid the cleanup staff farewell and makes her way toward the soldiers. I'm sorry I was late. No, don't apologize. If it wasn't for you, we'd be corrupted food by now. We could have handled just fine if it weren't for these fucking merchandise. Soldiers may not have meant for others to hear what he was saying, but it caught Bianca's attention. Bianca couldn't comprehend what he was referring to. Gains her composure after a moment's hesitation. The sound of a cane knocking on the ground came from behind the three of them. Three of them glanced at each other, but almost none of them noticed when approaching, nor did they know for how long he's been standing behind them. Hurriedly greet one, before scattering off in different directions to continue with their work. Bianca's halfway to the transport craft before staggering collapsing to the ground. As expected, this frame cannot continuously be used in full power. I guess I'll take a rest here first. After having made a decision, she finds a bombarded shelter nearby to carry out her adjustments to her frame. Suddenly hurried footsteps can be heard from afar. Bianca peeks out of the ruins to see some black figures heading for the sea carrying a cement column. One falls behind casually. Sully raises his right hand and the black figure immediately kneels on the ground to light one cigarette. And stands there unmoving, looking at the black figures dragging the column. Squirts in displeasure before breathing out a puff of smoke. Targeted people are always a pain. Yes, boss. We're taking care of it per your orders. Good. Remember, keep quiet about this to her. Understood, boss. Their conversation, one heads the other way. He was stunned Bianca sitting on the ground. Mr. Wen, what was that? That dog tag in between the cement columns. Is that soldiers? Wait, what? City 173 died of security product storage perimeter, 3:10 a.m. Hey, wanna go for a pint after work? Just got some good stuff. Talk later. We're still on the job right now. Don't worry, only few know of this storage. I got some on me right now. Wanna try? Well, we did some good stuff right there. Alright, but just for a bit. Sure, come on. Two black figures head for the alley opposite the storage. They laugh as Shadow swiftly passes through where the two figures were guarding before. There should be a central control system here somewhere. Found it. Not long after, the storage wall slides open, revealing a hidden door that's enough for one to pass. Shadow swiftly pulls out the cable and sneaks into the door. These are... all the lights in the storage room are flipped all or on at one. Oh no, yes, Wen was a part of Bianca's thing. Right, I remember. Because it was a flashback about like this specific room with him, I think. In the Crip School chapter. All the lights in the storage are flipped up at once, illuminating that place and covering the shocked intruder's identity. My bad, I'm just I do attach my controller again. His voice resounds from deep within. This isn't a place you should be in. The truth. When the warehouse was lit up, what came into Bianca's side instead of company's goods were the constructs restrained by their restraint devices. As the storage lit up, Bianca could see what the merchandise store there was. Rows and rows of restrained constructs. This isn't a place you should be in. They're missing people. How can this be? Mr. Lowe? Miss Phillips? Can you hear me? Yeah, I figured. Because I was like, there's no way we're leaving that mystery out in the open. And it's like, again, it's like, that guy, damn it, what was his name? How did I just forget it? And we literally just talked about him. But yeah, it was like, he was just a normal guy, supposedly, right? It's like, all of a sudden, he just comes back as like a construct and he doesn't even remember when it happened. Give it up. This way or modification. Did you do it, Mr. Wen? I'm sure you've already reached a conclusion yourself after seeing all of this. Yeah, because it's like, that'd be best, that's like the best way, right? Because if left to her own devices, she probably would have investigated it herself. So this was his way of like making sure to keep a tight leash on her. This is why I despise talkative people. If it weren't for those useless human waste earlier, we wouldn't be in this predicament right now. The merchandise he mentioned. Not only the members of Daedalus, but the corrupted constructs I'd taken care of before as well. Yeah, I was wondering. That's like his way of eliminating failures, right? Because maybe it's like he tried to turn them into constructs, but they failed and become corrupted, right? Because it's like, if you don't put the invert device properly, or use that mainly, or you don't keep the right stabilization, there's no risk of them being corrupted, because their mind won't be as stable or something, correct? That is correct. All of them are merchandise we modified. This confirmation makes Bianca feel faint, so much for being able to steady herself. What we sell is safety, and safety is achieved by weapons and strength. And what's the most powerful weapon in our era? I'm sure you know the answer yourself. Yet those hypocritical dream, or the hypocrites dream of allowing weapons to keep their sentience. My bad. I'm just checking to make sure that, oh no, it can't move my mouse. I just want to make sure, like, I have the volume on. Or that, my AirPods are connected. Okay, no, they are. Damn. I guess it just doesn't have sound yet. Actually, no, I guess I should, put on my other AirPod, because, again, this one's about to die. Yeah, there we go. Fools. The lot of them. Weapons are weapons. They're no longer human after modifications. They're products for us humans to use as we wish. Weapons. No flesh, no blood, and no feelings. Then you are my finest creation. Except for that little flaw of yours, which is your faith. Preventing me from wiping your consciousness clean. Ah, I see. So that's what he meant. Yeah, because I was like, she should still be a human by that point. I see. He had turned into a construct, but she was actually, like, that's the main reason that she didn't turn into a corrupted or something, right? Or at least one of them, because she had the strong mind because of her faith. But one thing you have in common with the other products is that, like all weapons, you have a limited lifespan. Don't waste your energy struggling. Soon you'll be the same as those constructs you cleaned up. So all that I've done, providing relief, protecting the masses, they're all... You could have lived your life in the dream I weaved for you. Until it was your time to be recycled, at least. Ah, so what I meant by the dog tag of that one soldier is like probably like one of the soldiers he made, right? It's like India. It's like, how did that happen? Wait, he didn't really fall in battle. Or maybe it was that specific construct that she took out. Bianca pulls out her bow in a fit of rage and aims at the southwestern side of the storage. Saus takes over. Takes over after the static died, except for Bianca's ragged breathing could be heard. No need to get so emotional. I'll miss a weapon as excellent as you, but goodbye. And his voice suddenly sounds from all directions, completely wrapping around Bianca. When? So inelegant. Have you forgotten my teachings? I guess this would be your last lesson. Let me show you where the constructs you saved come from. The second Wen finishes speaking, the restraints on all the constructs in the storage broken. Scarlet electric currents engulfs all of them. Next thing Bianca knew was the army of constructs charging at her. Okay, good. There is actually sound in this game. Again, just for those parts, they didn't put anything. Oh, this area again. I see. Yeah, I remember this place. I fought that one sister with the wings, right? Like in the very, very, very early chapters of the game. Sorry for inflicting that kind of pain on you. I'll come with you soon as a human, not someone else's weapon. How disappointing. Farewell. Okay, this is definitely a lot faster than what I was expecting, but again, I guess that's the point, right? Because it's like the main meat of it is supposed to probably be in the Zero story, right? Not in this one. But hey, this works for me just fine, because again, it's like I at least have a good idea of what happened in the story of the Zero frame, so I can pretty much guess what would happen then. So, and at least I'm getting through this much faster, so I can actually finish 3 of them like I wanted. Well, technically 3, even though it'd be like 2 1/6, but hey, it is what it is. A Bianca covered in electricity finally arrives in front of Wen, leaving a trail of Daedalus member corpses behind her. It's over, Wen. Do you remember when you first came to this office? Ignores Bianca and strolls over to the window with his cane in hand. You've grown. What are you trying to say? So he turns around, staring straight into Bianca's eyes. The next second, Wen has an antique Derringer gun pointed at Bianca. Bianca swiftly kicks up a chair on the ground towards Wen's head. As one dodged the chair, Bianca already has an arrow through his chest. He staggers backward. He was only able to keep standing thanks to the cane in his left hand. Then picks up the fallen chair with his other hand with shaky breath. Sits on the chair he picked up, supporting himself with both hands on the cane in front of him. Bianca stands on the other side of the room, silently witnessing his actions. It's sad to face Bianca. My most beautiful weapon. Are you satisfied with this ending? His head slowly droops down after finishing his last words. Says to her pat. Wait, really? It's just that simple? Well, then again, it's not like he's like an elite and stuff, because again, it's like he was mainly just a business guy. So I guess there isn't really much to have for him. City 173, Daedalus Rooftop, 4:55 a.m. In the dead of night, Bianca stands on the roof of Daedalus' building. The sky starts to rain as if sensing her sorrow. Sorry, I'm just checking something on my phone real quick. It's all over. I'm tired. Let's take a quick rest. What's that sound? Oh, it's raining. What is that blinding white light? But it doesn't matter. It doesn't have anything to do with me anymore. Redo's from Star Life. Over here, quickly. Move the craft a bit closer. Hey. Oh, okay, so this is when she was saved by that point. Wow, okay. Very, very abrupt ending, I will say. Dude, what the... See, this is what I'm saying. It's like, if I was only looking to this stuff and the Stigmata chapter, I would not have had a lot to appreciate from it, you know? I mean, like I said, Bianca, the Zero chapter, that probably tells a much more greater tale. But the Veritas, it's like, there was literally nothing. Like, what the fuck? It was like literally just a short mission and that's it. Like, hell, almost every other one had like a decent, slightly longer story than that. Like, even Liv's like didn't really have a lot, but it's like, at least there was more emotion tied to it because of learning Liv's circumstances and that. But for Bianca, it was like, there was almost nothing there, just learning that situation. And like, that's how she got her Veritas frame. I gotta say, pretty underwhelming. But like I said, that's why I'm glad for the Crypt School chapter, they did it justice for her and Chico. So it's like, I'm okay with that, I guess, you know? Not all of them can be bangers for interludes, alright? Especially since it's like, in whatever way could you kind of transition Bianca from one to another, so, yeah. Alright, so, I know I kind of wanted to do one more if I could, but honestly, it is getting pretty late right now, so, damn, I kind of wish I could have done more. But hey, at least with this, I can go ahead and get started on the next floating record next time, so I'll take that at the very least. Yeah, now I can finally go to this one next time. Okay, 26 parts. This is going to be a kind of long one. I'm going to be interested in this one, because again, it's like, if I remember correctly, like, a version of Short Haul is supposed to be fun of boss, right? I don't know how that would work, but I'll be interested to see how it goes. Like I said, I'll see if we can try to start and finish this by, the 5th of October. Probably not. At the very least, I'll complete the main story by then, but of this, I'm not sure. But before we end the stream, because again, didn't really do much today, especially because I got stuck in that one part for way too fucking long that I should have, we'll actually go through this real quick and actually fight the Chico boss again. Yeah, so we have Woven Prologue. Wait, what's this? Oh, right, that's this one. Wait, why would they even say main story? It's a floating record. This is the same thing. Anyway, I'll do the boss challenge. So yeah, I've already done 2 of them, so let's do a couple of these. Yeah, so I'll go with the main team that I put here for this.
この一曲は私がディーラーを務めましょう。
Here we go. Let's go.
そろそろ始めましょう。終幕を。
ここで生まれ変わり、そして消えていく。あなたの運命は決まっている。深淵に波は起きる。波は起こさせない。どこへ行くの？あなたの見せてあげる。あなたの知らない景色をお返しするわ。波は起こさせない。共に霧を払いましょう。やはりこの物語も結末は変わらない。最高のゲームを物語はここで終わり。オールイン？それともアウト？ほら、指揮官様欲望に溺れた彼らをご覧あれ。共に霧を払いましょう。ほら、指揮官様欲望に溺れた彼。波が下る。強いな。交わり咲き誇る。容赦し逃がしません。大丈夫です。容赦しません。はっ最高のゲームをお見せしましょう。ほら、指揮官様欲望に溺れたか。オールイン？それともアウト？ほら、指揮官様欲望に溺れた彼らをご覧あれ。あなたの運命は決まっていた。見せてあげる。あなたの知らない景色をお返しするわ。雨はやがて海に帰る。容赦しません。静寂にキス。物語はここで終わり。未練なく生けるチャンスをあげましょう。静寂にキス。物語はここで終わり。無垢なる茨よ、全ての罪を清めたまえ。粛清。容赦して静寂にキス。昼も夜もずっとあなたと共に進みます。
Okay, I'll admit it. I did pretty poorly there. I definitely could have done a bit better. I think the problem was that I was being a bit too cautious with not trying to go all in with Ishmael's main combo at first before launching the ult, which is what took me way too long. And also with Bianca's, with the transitioning and everything, I definitely could have done that more smoothly. Alright, so let's try this again by level 4. He's into yo, what's up, Asian Turtle? Just doing a bit of like the combat challenges now, just because I already did my story stuff for today. How you doing? Nope. No, damn it. Oh my god, I still took damage. Fuck you. Get good. There we go. I still can't wait for when I get my check. Again, I don't know if it'll be I get it tomorrow or on like Friday. It's kind of been hard for me to tell. Because like I do want to play the new games, but it's like I have to wait until because that's the only way I'm going to be able to play those. Because yeah, I want to play the Sonic game. So I gotta wait a bit for the Digimon game because that comes out tomorrow. The 2nd, right? I don't know what time it comes out. So gotta wait till then. Okay, good. I had just enough. Damn, barely. Kinda hard to eat. Oh, sorry. Alright, give me a sec. I'll put the volume down a bit more. There. How about, let me try this. A little bit loud, the voice too quiet. Okay, I changed it a bit more. Can you hear me now, or is it still the same, more or less? Because I lowered the volume on the game on OBS. But again, it's like the action of this game can be pretty loud, so that could be the case. Maybe do a little lower? Okay, give me a second. Alright, let me try this. Okay, is that much better now? Again, if I have to, I can change the in-game volume, possibly. Oh wait, no, actually try during battle. Yeah, here we go. So let me know if it changes. There we go. How about now? Still the same? It's a little better? Okay. Just give me a second. Let me finish this combo. Alright. Let me actually try something else instead. Give me a second. So, let me put the volume on OBS back to normal. But let me change the sound of the game. Okay, let me change the BGM here and the effects here. See what happens. Yes, let me change it. Ah, damn, I could have probably used the other one for this. Okay, I don't know if this is the better change that I should be doing, but I'm just trying to see, because I don't want to have to change the volume on my OBS. Because then I have to have another setting for it. Okay, there we go. Damn, at least this isn't like a time trial. That would be... Hey, don't run from me. Oh my god. Nope. I got you. Ah, damn, it's this again. There we go. Had to wait a little bit lower. I guess always in the end I could just increase the volume on my mic. I guess that is always just an option. Can I actually play this another 3 minutes? I can see it.
やはりこの物語も結末は変わらない。あなたの運命は決まっている。悪くないの。波を起こさせない。逃がしません。物語
There we go. Done. Alright. Much better. But again, still had too many openings there as well, but not nearly as dreadful as the other one. I think I cleared that in just 3 minutes. Alright, now I gotta try this last one. Okay. Take it down number once also. Oh, okay, so it's just that simple. Okay. Yeah, I can easily get that done. Come on. Oh, wait. I should probably switch. Yeah, let me get out of Radiance form and let me go to Twilight form. There we go. Okay. See how this pans out.
そろそろ始めましょう。終幕をここで生まれ変わり、そして消えていく。悪くない。深淵に波が起きる。さあ見せてあげる。
あなたの知らない景色をお返しするわ。あなたの望む奇跡を共に切り、やはりこの物語も結末は変わらない。あなたの運命は決まっている。どこへ行くの？見せてあげる。あなたの水は法の器に従う。さあ、このまま私が戦没。欲望に溺れた彼らをご覧あれ。物語はここで終わり。共に霧を晴らす。欲望に溺れた彼らをご覧あれ。やはりこの物語も結末は変わらない。粛清。物語はここで終わり。未練なく生けるチャンスをあげましょう。静寂にキス。無垢なる茨よ、全ての罪を清めたまえ。粛清。容赦しません。静寂にキス。物語はここで終わり。大丈夫です。容赦しません。聞きなさい。終末のアイコン。水は法の歌に従う。未練なく生けるチャンスをダンスに組む。逃が聞きなさい。終末のアイコン。逃が容赦しません。物語はここで終わる。未練なく生けるチャンスをあげましょう。逃がしません。物語はここで終わり。未練なく生けるチャンスを聞きなさい。終末のアイコン。あなたの波は起こさせない。このまま私がやがて幕はあなたの望む奇跡と共に霧を。やはりこの物語も結末は変わらない。最高の波は起こさせない。オールイン。物語はここで終わり。水は法の器に従う。欲望に溺れた彼らをご覧あれ。オールイン。それともアウト。深淵に波は起きない。ほら、指揮官様。欲望に溺れた彼らをご覧あれ。波は起こさせない。未練なく生けるチャンスをあげましょう。粛清。この痛みはあなたの終焉のために。無垢なる茨よ。さようなら。大丈夫です。
Okay, so that did it within 3 minutes. I'm
あなた
fine
と
with that,
共
I
に
guess.
進みます。
Okay. Alright, definitely gonna have to get some more practice with this team. I definitely wouldn't say I mastered it, obviously, because I definitely had a couple of weak points there, but I'm really somewhat satisfied with it. Not completely, but it is what it is. Should I go for one more? Ah, fuck it. We'll give it a one last chance. Alright, let's see how I do in the final act.
そろそろ始めましょう。終幕をここで生まれ変わり、そして消えていく。悪くない。あなたの運に波は起こさせない。見せてあげる。あなたの知らない景色を破壊するわ。波は起こさせない。やはりこの物語も結末は変わらない。最高のゲームをお見せします。どこへ行くの？オールイン？それともアウト？離れた。共に霧を払いましょう。ほら、指揮官様。欲望に溺れた彼らをご覧あれ。深淵に波が起きる。物語はここで終わり。共に霧を払いましょう。ほら、指揮官様。欲望に溺れた彼らをご覧。波は起こさせない。物語はここで終わる。水は法雲の器に従う。欲望に溺れた彼らをご覧。波は起こさせない。物語はここで終わり。容赦しません。逃がしません。未練の悔い。波は起こさせない。逃がしません。波は起こさせない。未練なく生ける。無垢なる茨よ。すべての罪を清めたまえ。この波は起こさせない。容赦しません。物語はここで終わり。未練なく生けるチャンスは。それは死に光。物語は深淵に波は起きる。聞きなさい。終末の愛花。容赦しません。ケツのこのまま私が先導します。見せてあげる。あなたの知らない景色をお返しするわ。あなたの未練なく共に霧をやはりこの物語も結末は変わらない。結末はただ一つ。宿命に逆らえない。物語はここで終わる。共に霧を張った欲望に溺れた彼らをご覧あれ。波が砕け死を交わり咲き誇る。物語はここで終わる。水は法雲の器に従う。欲望に溺れた彼らをご覧あれ。物語はここで終わり。朽ちた天候。未練なく生けるチャンスをあげましょう。あんたやがて運命を変え。朽ちた天候を切り裂きます。えいはっえい。物語やがて幕は降りる。
きなさい。終末の愛花。苦戦。容赦しません。
物語はここで終わ
未練なく生けるチャンスをあげましょう。えい。
物語はここで終わり、深淵に波が
聞きなさい。終末の愛花。この痛みはあなたの容赦しません。苦戦。
物語はここで終わり、
未練なく生けるチャンスをあげましょう。
物語はここで終わり、
ぬくなる茨よ。全ての罪を清めたまえ。容赦しません。運命は
波を起こさせない。さあ、幕を閉じましょう。見せてあげる。あなたの知らない景色をお返しするわ。波を起こさせない。
共に
否定は潮に潜む。
オール
物語はここで終わり。
共に切りよ。
さようなら。
欲望に溺れた彼らをご覧あれ。
指揮官様、ベッドはそれだけでいいのですか？
Okay, that definitely took a lot more concentration. Probably still fun. No, yeah, I mean, it is pretty fun. I just had to get more used to using this new team, you know? Because I'm just used to, like, maining, like, only Ishmael and the Dark... I mean, yeah, like, this new Dark team. But it's just having to actually fully utilize Bianca properly, that is going to take me a while. I mean, to be fair, even when I tried using Stigmata initially, it did not turn out as good as I thought it was going to be. If anything, it was a lot harder to use her than the initial alpha frame, so it's just going to take some more practice for me. But anyway, finally got through all of that. I actually wanted to get it alpha at some point, so glad I was able to do it on stream anyway. But yeah, with that, that'll be the end of the stream for tonight, everybody. Like I said, next time when we come back to Punching Grey Raven, I'll see if I can find time in the next couple days to do it. If not, then it will still be on Saturday like normal. We'll go through a long goodbye just to... Because, again, I'm just very interested in that, what's it called? That floating record. And I might change the schedule for Saturday streams just because since I'm only going to be doing, like, floating records and stuff, and it's not main story, I feel like I can kind of, like, push that to whenever I feel like it as opposed to having, like, completely scheduled since I am almost already caught up. So, and again, I can go about it more at my leisure at that point, so I probably will see if I'll put Trails in the Sky first chapter on Saturdays instead, or if I'll put the new Digimon game there. Because again, I don't know. It depends on how long I'll be streaming each of those games separately, and if like I'll add a new day for streams over the course of the week. But I'll have to see how I'm gonna plan that out. Yeah, other than side stuff, you're all cut up. Unless you want to do Stronghold or stuff. Nah, probably not. But I will say, I'm kind of curious what the connection between the Commandant and Selena is. That is my only issue. And yes, I know. The only way I'm gonna really be able to do that is... Recitativa di Fantasia. But this thing takes fucking forever. Like, I have some patience, but my patience only lasts so damn long. And I am not gonna go through all of this when it's like, it's probably gonna be 100 stages by that point. It's like, even I can't wait that fucking long, you know? Which sucks, because it's like, I'd really like to know the relationship between Hermit and the Commandant. It might be in the index to just read the thing. I hope so, because like I said, I am not willing to go this far just for that, considering it's like, I barely do. Oh wow, you hadn't read it? Nah, because again, it's like, this thing takes fucking forever. Every time I try to unveil it, like, I have to go through all of these, and these all take so much time. It's like, can I even make a stream where it's like, some of it's it's just like a repeat boss as well, you know? Like, I'm not even really fighting new things, at least for as long as I tried it. But it just takes too damn long for me to actually get anything done, so I just choose not to, you know? Well, I read through it once and then skip the other runs for the story. Yeah, but it's like, I'd still have to give myself time to just sit there and just go through the same stuff over and over. It's like, I can do that to some degree, but not like this, you know? It's still long. Yeah, that's what I mean. It's like, it's super long from what I've heard. It's like, I honestly can't be bothered. And I'm still already satisfied with the stuff I learned from Selena in the interludes and stuff, that it's like, I'm not even gonna bother with that. But yeah, like I said, when I come back to this, we will go through Wan Chi's thing. I just did the 10 battles a day. Ah, okay, I see. That's what you did. Oh, wait, damn it. Where is it? Yeah, this one, The Long Goodbye. I'll see. Like I said, since I'll be doing things at my own pace, I'll figure out how I'm going to do it. I'm probably just going to wait until, what's it called? The Veronica one comes out, because we only have like a couple days left, like a little over a week to do this. So, if I don't finish The Long Goodbye by then, I'll just go straight to Veronica's, because I really do want to see what she's all about. And if not, I'll see if I can squeeze in one more, or try to do them like coincidentally, like the Crescent Sun maybe. Because this was the one with the Yuka Celtimate like boss, right? If I'm remembering correctly. And I kind of see like how it ends up into that situation, because I think that's supposed to be like a kind of like spooky story kind of thing as well, like they tried with other ones. So I kind of want to see what that's about. Don't get me wrong, I'm not completely forgetting about Discord. I will also do hers eventually, okay? There's just certain priorities I have myself from my perspective of playing this game. So it's like some characters for me take precedence over others, or some boss fights will take precedence over others, you know? That's just my interpretation of this. So don't worry, we will do Discords eventually, but I just have bigger priorities in regards to the floating records. Kind of like how I don't really do the Bombinetta and the Pulao one, since, again, it's like, I don't really see it having as much of an impact to me. But again, not saying I'll never do it, just not on my top list of things to check out here anyway. But yeah, that is going to be the end of the stream for tonight, everybody. I'll see if later today I can do a Honkai Star Rail stream, because I do at least need to do one of those a week, considering it's like, I don't know how much of the story is even left, but I feel like I still got a ways to go for that. And then I'll see if in the day after, if I'll do East 9 Monster Knock, since I already did my grinding for that, and I already did my grinding in Trails in the Sky first chapter, so I could do that as well. But again, I'll figure out what to do. Pulao was a nice breather after surviving this. Oh, okay, that's when that takes place? Ah, okay. But yeah, I mean, to be fair, surviving Lucem was an emotional roller coaster, so I can see why. And yeah, Pulao's, I don't know, because it's like, I kind of already know a lot about Pulao, like who she originally was, and that, and then her connection with Hanying and everything. It's like, do I even really need to? That's the other thing. It's like, do I feel like I'd really get anything extra from it? Because it's like this interlude for Bianca Veritas. It didn't really give anything. It gave a tiny bit of stuff, but nothing really that's like impactful, that's like wow or amazing or that was so insightful. Nothing like that. So it's like, I don't know. There's also BC2. No, yeah, again, that is fair. That is fair. But that's what I mean. It's like, would I really need to do it for a stream, or could I just do it myself and then just leave it alone and be like, oh, we all already have a good amount for Pulao from all the time she's been at it? Because Pulao has also been active in the story a good amount of times, whether it comes to like us talking about stuff in Kao Long or their own character chapters or stuff. So again, it's like, I don't feel like there's really the need to do her floating record on the stream, but again, I don't know. That's just something I'll have to figure out. The boss fight is worth streaming it though for Pulao. Really? Hey, I mean, I'll take your word for it, Guardian. You are my senpai after all. But yeah, that'll be the end for it tonight. Let me give a shout out to everyone who showed up. So shout out to our Guardian Soul Blade, Azriel Cat, if I remember, and AZ and Turtle 169 for all showing up the stream. Great chatting with y'all. And like I said, I will definitely try to do Digimon Time Stranger when it comes out, hopefully, or whenever I get my check this week anyway. And hopefully I'll find time for the Sonic Crossworlds game, because I actually do want to stream racing games to have fun, because that was initially what I wanted to do with Mario Kart, but unfortunately I don't have a capture card, so trying to connect that with my Switch won't be happening anytime soon, and I don't know anything about that kind of shit. Though I guess I could ask my friend Digitaco about how he does it, but again, that's just something for a later project. But anyway, if you guys did enjoy the stream but already found the channel, please make sure to leave a follow. Much appreciated. Check my YouTube channel, post all the VODs, subscribe to as well. Join Discord if you guys not already. Links to all those are on the channel. But this has been Xanthos Vibes. I hope you guys have a great rest of your night. I'll see you guys next time. Wow.
傷口よく見せて。うん、いい感じ。まだ痛むかい？今のはただの気休めだけどね。もっと自分を大切にするんだよ。